towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking
think that I'm wrong, but in this life, I'm the only one. Do you know what it means that we're the same kind? The desire you feel isn't the same as mine. I could let you go, but why should I? You're my mission, you're my mission tonight. You're nothing but mine. And the sooner you realize that for all the
All I ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted.
Welcome to Octane Online Racing's GT3 Sprint Series, Round 3 at Brands Hatch. My name is Samwise Holmes, and I have with me in the comments box today, JP and Jesse. How are you guys?
Very well, thanks, and yourself, Samwise. I'm seeing some clouds and some overcast weather, so I am excited to see if there's going to be some moisture tonight as well.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Same.
I'm also glad.
Yeah, same here, Samwise. Hope you're well. Same as you, JP. Bit of moisture tonight.
It's going to be great. Great night of racing up ahead. So, just so you know, so JP, give us a shout out so we know your voice.
This is JP.
And Jesse, give us another shout out as well.
This is Jesse, the Mac Daddy.
Yeah. Fantastic. So you know who our voices are. I'm Samwise, and we've got Mr. Neil Alexander Mullock himself in the broadcast booth. He is the one controlling all the fantastic camera angles for you here today. Qualifying is underway, and it is an 8-minute qualifying session, so there is 7.5 minutes left. Very short circuit, this one. Brands Hatch, the Supreme Leader himself, is not a big fan, but I actually quite like this circuit. What do you guys think?
I don't have a lot of experience with Brands Hatch, apart from doing Rookie Series myself, but she's quite tricky, I think. Just nailing your corners, I think, is just very big for me. So, but you can get away with a lot as well.
I have to say it's one of my favorite hot lapping tracks. It's very difficult to race on due to the fact that it's almost impossible to overtake, but I really enjoy it. It's such an unforgiving track. You have to be on the limits to be fast, but anything 1% over the limits and you're just in the grass and potentially in a wall. So I really enjoy it.
I agree. I'm actually I like the challenge of driving at full pace around Brands Hatch, and it feels like it inherently is a simple circuit, but there are a lot of places that can catch you out, and we are going to see a lot of people on the grass tonight. I am certain of it, and in the sand.
Yeah. Judging by the splits last night, it was quite spicy. Just no one seemed to be able to keep it on track. Even the best of drivers couldn't at some points there.
That's one of those things where, as we said, you need to push to be fast, and the limits are very easy to overreach, and it's unforgiving, and it's part of the fun of racing here. Is you need to be so close to other cars to force them into a mistake, and there's a couple of corners where it's very difficult to follow closely. So it's it's quite easy to make a mistake yourself in the pursuit of maybe forcing a mistake out of somebody else.
Absolutely agreed. Especially up at Sheen, you've just got this blind sort of crest coming up exactly where we're looking at right now. And if you're following closely behind another car, it is very easy to get that wrong. And if you dip a toe on the grass on the outside, it is mega easy to send that car into a spin.
Yeah, I found that out in a bit of practice, a few practice sessions before the race. It's quite, yeah, just very, yeah, like you said before, very simple track, but something you get so very wrong. If you're not careful.
Yeah.
Matt Oliver sets a respectable first lap, 1:24.
So in this split we have, I think, one debutant, if I'm not mistaken, in Michael East. Now I raced with him in ATR, and he is a very, very quick driver, as he proves me right there with a 23.6. Yeah, I think we're on for either Rahmat, East, maybe Lamb on pole. Who do we think is on pole here?
Well, East is showing good pace at the moment, but you never know. Someone can easily just pull something out. But I'm feeling, how's Kitching with his times? I watched him at Bathurst and he seemed pretty quick.
Having raced with Kitching in Split Blue, I can confirm that he's absolutely bloody rapid. But I'm not sure if the Lambo is very strong here. I don't think last night there were any like top Lambo cars. I mean, here we have Kitching and Herbert and Van Vliet, who are all very good in the Lambos, so we should be able to see its true pace. I didn't see Split Yellow last night, so I'm not sure. As we see Fudley come in with a 23.2, which is a pretty fast lap, but he should be able to improve. I'm sure we should be able to see Fudley and possibly maybe Lamb and Kitchen dip into the 22s.
I'll tell you what though, oh, you don't say my sorry.
Oh, you man, I'm cutting you off.
No, that's right. I was saying anything at a 122 is rapid for me, so anything even 23 even. So these guys, they know what they're doing.
I haven't raced here in 1.8, so I'm not familiar with what the current times are. Are they much different to?
I think it's a little bit off from what it was, but the top guys were still doing like mid 22s in the colder temps. So I'm sure we should from somebody like Fadley and Lamb, even Burrs. I'm assuming O'Hara isn't racing tonight. I haven't seen him on the list, but I'd be very surprised if Rahmat or Lamb doesn't dip into the 22s.
So just a reminder of what happened last week. So currently the standings for Split Blue, Andy O'Hara is of course top of the board with 2 wins so far this from the first 2 rounds. So 3 races, 2 wins. Lucas Burrs is currently P2 in the standings, and Kitching is third. Coming down from there, you've got Lamb, Herbert, Rashmat and Clark. So the top 3 are at the moment. East is, I don't think he's anywhere on the.
He's making his debut today, so
this is his debut, and he's currently top of the times with a 22.9. So that's an impressive debut.
Tell you what though, he's got all the makings for a great debut race. As you know though, it can all go very, very wrong. As we came last night.
We're getting ahead of ourselves by trying to predict the winner of any race, but wouldn't it be something to win on debut?
Wouldn't that be glorious?
Lamb and Rashmat, they're currently in the top 5 in the standings, and Burst and Kitching are 2 apart from maybe O'Hara that are there. So our top 5 are staying pretty consistent at the moment as far as the championship standings versus where they are in qualifying at the moment. The only wild card at the moment is East, who's currently P2. So Rashmat has just topped the time board with a 22.8.
think Rahmat is not on board with the whole fairy tale debut pole story.
Yeah, you
So
ruined that.
he's saying, no, I'll take that from you. Thank you very much.
So we are on the final lap for everybody who crosses the line within the next 20 seconds. Is currently on their final lap for qualifying. Very short track, this one. So this would be probably the most laps we get out of any sprint race in the season.
Problem with the short tracks is, of course, finding a good enough gap to get a good run of laps in, because the tires take 2 laps or so to properly get into the window. And if you pick the wrong gap and you're catching somebody too fast, it could potentially ruin your proper flying laps. So yeah, it's part of the fun of managing qualifying on one of these short tracks with a fairly full field.
Absolutely. So we started with 37 drivers, I believe, or no, 39 drivers. My mistake. I think we're down to. I think we've got 30. I think we've got 39 on the leaderboard. How many do we have racing tonight?
Can't tell you at the moment. Obviously, it just shows 23 on the leaderboard there. I think it might be one of those weeks after a long week of preparation and racing, like the Bathurst 12 hours, and knowing you have a drop round in hand. And Brands Hatch, I think, it's not a lot of people's favourites, for the reasons said before, the difficulty with racing. But yeah, it might be some people have decided to just cancel it out as their drop round and take a break.
Yeah, absolutely. And
So just,
I think
sorry, go ahead.
no, go take us through the who's lining up on at the front.
So yeah, just for those unaware, this week at Brands Hatch is a super sprint race, which means we're doing 2 30-minute races. And the second race, we'll have a reverse grid of the top 12 finishes of the first race, and the remaining drivers will have a super quali where they have 8 minutes to potentially start in 13th, which gives a bit of a chance of redemption if you have an incident in the first race or make a mistake or something. But yeah, our grid lines up. In P1 we have Fadli Rahmat in the Aston Martin, Michael East in the Bentley, Matthew Lamb in the McLaren, Lucas Burst in another Aston, pitching your top Lambo Cardeo with the McLaren, Oscar Liu in the Bentley, Jerry Kunayawan in the Mercedes, Ben Ferguson in the Ferrari, the top Am in the top 10, great stuff by him, and then debutant Patrick Oliver in P10 in the Lambo, Mitchell Weston and Michael Babb rounding out your top 12.
Excellent. I am looking forward to a really fantastic race. This is going to be a great lineup. I'm really excited to see how East goes off the line here. Wouldn't it be great to see a good battle with East on debut?
Yeah,
So let's get the pre-race jitters. Starting up front.
I don't think he will, to be honest. He's a fairly seasoned racer as well. This is his debut in OOR, but he's done a fair few of those. Thank you, Abdul Aziz, for the 10 AED. Not sure what that exactly is, but thank you.
I'll get on the Google with that one.
But yeah, it's, as we know, the Aston is not known for its starts, as it has that little bit of turbo lag, and the Bentley, having spent a fair amount of time in that, it launches fairly well. So it should be an interesting run into T1. Not a long run, but hopefully East and Rahmat can make it fun.
So just a fact for the AED, it's the Emirati Dirham or Dirham?
Oh, Durham, okay.
Dirham, that's the word. I knew I'd botch that. So appreciate that, Abdul Aziz.
So yeah, as we go on the pace lap, just have a quick little look at chat and say hi to everyone in. Mac Daddy, I don't know who that guy is, but he's a weirdo.
Here we go.
Paul Berger, hi Jan, hi Mats, hi Suma, Pat Grant is in, JC of course is in after run in the box last night, losing all his bets. George Fowler, Jeremy Washington, and who else is in? Tasty Key, he's a weirdo. Mike Grill, of course, a race winner from last night. And welcome, Chris.
I see a couple new names. Reese Williams, another one.
Yeah.
Seen a couple.
Who is the juicy one, Reese? He's asking if juicy one is racing. I'm not sure.
That'd be JC. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, he will be racing in Split Red, which is on after this.
Yeah. So that'll be about an hour or so, roughly.
Sure, JC, you were robbed by making up for a bet. No, that's just the way it works out, mate. Sorry. Gotta deal with it.
All bets are on, mate. You know that.
Alright, so it's a super sprint format today, so we have two 30-minute races. The second of the two will be a reverse grid, so the top 12 finishers in this race will start the next race in reverse order. So if you finish in P12, you've got yourself a hot seat for race 2. That is the format that we are on today for the super sprint race. Fantastic design from the safety car. I'm a big fan of that one. I think it looks particularly excellent. So as we're coming towards the final turn now, so you can see there, that's P1 on the left side, that's our purple Aston, and you've got the Bentley of Boost there in that bright orange. So they are going to lead us away with the McLaren and the other Aston on the second row. It's a bit of a late line here, so they're going to trundle down before the lights go green. And here we are, so East on the right, Rashman on the left, they're off, it is green. We're coming through turn 1, Rashman's going to have the good line through there, and unfortunately East might get thrown to the outside if that McLaren wants to say anything about it, which they don't. So it might be a clean for P1 and P2 side by side by the Aston and the McLaren in 3rd and 4th. McLaren's going to have the inside. They might be able to hold around the outside, the Aston might. That is the Aston of Burst trying to put a move on Lamb. It happens. So Lamb is going to get a really rotten run as well. So he's going to have to defend from the Lamborghini behind. So that is a change of position up to P3. The Lamborghini is not able to make that work. So far, so good. We've got one car that's stuck on the grid, car 667. He's not moving anywhere. That's excellent. So that is, but apart from that, fingers crossed, we're halfway through the lap, and so far so good. Let's see what happens over the rest of the lap. They've already evened themselves out in the first half of the grid to single file, which you definitely want to be coming through here. Got a little bit of yellow coming to the back of the field. Looks like a little bit of action in the sand. We'll have a look to see what that is.
Safety car.
We must have a little pile up at the back.
Interesting, that's probably a late safety car. Because the incident, there was a small incident in turn 2, I think, but it seems like only 2 cars were involved. So I didn't see the incident that caused the safety car, but yeah, hopefully this will only be 1 lap under the safety car and then we'll get back to racing.
After that, through turn 1 and turn 2 here, we only had 1 incident that we've noted, not even seen, is actually quite impressive. So I imagine we're about to get a replay of the start. Oh, very bunched up coming into turn 1. 3 wide is never a good place to be. Oh, there's a little bit of
Ouch, okay.
An awful run through turn 1. Okay, so that's a bit worse than we thought.
Yes, no, we didn't see that. That poor Aston looks like a Bushman painting on the wall there, so as O'Hara, yeah, JC pointing out O'Hara joined in late. Did he stop on the pit lane? Because I saw he was quite a bit back. So he's doing a first challenge just for the fun of it.
O'Hara actually up to P28 actually, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, he's ahead of the cars that were involved in the incident there. But interesting. Hello, Bingo.
Pits, has he?
Yeah, I think that's why he's saying he came in a bit late. But yeah, interestingly, in the top 5, it seems there was only 1 change of position, so not too bad as we get another view here of a different incident.
Big incident we saw it back on the map.
Oh no!
It's just a GTR into the back of a Lambo.
Poor Aston, nowhere to go.
Aston getting involved as well. I don't think that is the ideal line.
Lambo will be all right based on that. They didn't slam into the wall, unlike the Aston, so they might come off all right after that incident. at the front here, so we're looking on from East right now. So they had a clean start. Rashmat in first, East in second. Verse made a jump from P4 up to P3. Lamb was able to hold the position even though he got a rotten run, but they are off and racing again. But here they go. Look at these fastest laps coming through. 2 minutes at Brands Hatch.
Oscar getting mugged off there by, I think it was Kitching and somebody else having look. Oh, Kitching going very wide there. That was Mitchell Weston on the inside.
Oh, how rude. Side by side through here, so this is going to be good for those behind. Ferrari on the outside. He's going to try and go the long way around. Is he going to make it away? That Lamborghini was not going to make it easy, but the Lambo is, they're both going to have slightly compromised runs. Ferrari's going to have the inside for the next turn, so I think Weston is going to get this over Kitching. But we'll see, because the Lamborghini apparently has better legs up the straight. It might not be the case at all. I think we might be seeing the Lamborghini go around the outside. Judging, it looks like Kitching's got it. It looks like the Lamborghini's come out in front. That's an impressive move around the outside there, and a brave one too.
That's the same move Mr. Barbecue Bun Mike Real made for the win last night. As we see the Lambo dive up the inside of the Ferrari there. Ferrari gets squeezed up a little bit, but not too much damage. I think he just lost the one position. As we see Michael Babb go around the outside there after the Ferrari was compromised a little bit. Ferrari squeezing the McLaren there, but I think everybody settles back in behind each other. Ferrari going a little bit wide, keeps it on the track.
You don't want to be touching the sand there, and that is an AM class Ferrari, by the way.
Yeah, that was Ferguson who qualified in P9 as an AM, so yeah, pretty impressive.
Oh,
As we see that, he saved it fortunately.
Nice work there to not be, because he was sideways going onto the grass. He's straightened it up, so good work to him there.
As Herbert runs a bit wide there, that's going to allow, who is that in the Bentley? Phillips to get back past.
Rejoin. So that was good racing. He's acknowledged that he hasn't just gone wide, he's gone off track. So it would have been a rejoin, so if an accident happened. So he has just been cautious about it and come back on, and that car's gone through. So he's now going to chase down Phillips. Herbert is a racer.
Just a little note, O'Hara is already up to P22 after being in P28 after the safety car restart a lap and a half ago. So he's making quick work of fighting through.
I think there's an Andy O'Hara P12. Is that, do you think that's on the cards?
JC's calling it.
Possible, yeah.
Nice put on JC.
We go on board with Charles Clark here. He was saying earlier in the team chat that the Honda and Brands Hatch go together like milk and pickles. So I don't think he'll be enjoying this race too much. Sorry?
Car 44 is stopped on track.
That's not me, I promise. Oh!
They're not having a good time of it. This is Troyan.
That is the Merc that imprinted itself on P1 as well at the start. So not a good race, but that's the good thing about the Super Sprint races is he can just finish this one out and then get another shot at getting a good quality and start in P13 and make his way up the field in second place.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we see O'Hara get even further than P12, but we'll definitely be keeping an eye on it to see whether he's going to play a part at the front of the grid for the next race.
That's the McLaren on the, who's that up there? Oh, there's quite a bit of damage on the front of that McLaren. I'm assuming there was some contact involved there.
His first penalty is being dished out. Stuart Matthews, 10-second penalty, losing in lap 1.
I'm hoping that Nick Rora will get a penalty soon for that livery. As we go on board with O'Hara. Ooh, he gets squeezed there by, I think that's Piper? No, that's Ferguson. So the AM car is falling down a little bit, getting involved in some argy-bargy. So,
well, a little bit of argy-bargy with O'Hara himself.
Okay.
That is not playing nice. He did not want to give his place on the outside there.
O'Hara showing his displeasure with a little flash of the lights there saying, hey, not nice, mate. And I'm sure he'll try and make quick work of him as we see Piper dive up the inside of Malloy, coming into the hairpin. I'm not sure if it does that classify as a hairpin because it's such a bloody long corner. It's just like a sweep.
Yeah, it doesn't feel quite as sharp as a full hairpin, but it definitely does count as one. It's just, I think it's because the way the corner is angled, it doesn't feel quite the same.
So just another quick note for those that are unaware. We are running a custom BOP with ballast. So this week we have, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Bentley has 30, the McLaren has 20, the Porsche has 10, and I'm pretty sure there's one other car that has, but I can't recall for the life of me what it is. If Race Control can give us a clue at some stage. But yeah, it's obviously worked out by some of the top drivers in OOR doing laps in all the cars, figuring out where they are, where they're strong, where they're weak, and then assigning appropriate ballasts to try and balance out the pack a little bit.
The Aston of Rashman has just screamed away 3 seconds up the road. He is from East, and then we've got this is the battle here between Lamb and East for P2, and they're a good nearly 2 seconds ahead of first as well. So doing well. Shout out to Rashman, doing a good job.
Yeah, Rahmat is a fantastically fast driver. I mean, he's part of the Legion of Racers group. They're all very fast, and a lot of them very accomplished drivers from GT Sport that have made the jump over to ACC, and it seems as though the skill has carried over. So good to see them performing well. And as
has gotten past Ben Ferguson, this will be assumed it was Ben. I'm just going to call him
Ben was Ben, yes.
It is Ben? Amazing.
Yep, that was
Well,
a good
alright,
guess.
did make it past him. That's who we saw scrapping at the final turn, making it difficult for Andy to go around the outside. And he has made his way past, so, and he's actually gone up another position now too, so he is in 20th. Oh, there's no body space there.
Oh, he's going for it.
Bit of a dive.
Oh.
And I mean, you don't want to be on the outside there, so...
It's one of the things with...
O'Hara found out.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of the things with Brands Hatch is if you're going for an overtake, it's either full commitment or you don't do it. You can't have little half-hearted moves here. You just need to fully commit and absolutely send it. As we get the Race Control, Aston Martin has 20 as well. So, yeah, certain cars are affected differently by the ballast. You know, like, I don't think the Bentley even notices it. Cars like the McLaren, the balance gets a little bit more difficult to maintain and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's interesting to see the effect it has on the cars and on the performance.
It's a nice little scrap here. So this is O'Hara, who is sure going to play it a little conservative here on the brakes, which he does. Very conservative he is. Just to give extra space.
Oh, it's contact.
Okay. Michael Mann's exits stage left. That's the going.
So that's up to 18th position, and now he's chasing down Zach Malloy, so he's slowly catching up to faster and faster drivers, so each overtake he does is going to be slightly more difficult. It's going to be interesting to see how much defense some of these drivers play. When you know it's Andy O'Hara behind you, you probably just assume that your day is done with that race and focus on the next battle. But we'll see. Does Zach Malloy defend, or does he let it happen?
Well, the other good thing with having O'Hara behind you is he's a very smart, safe driver. He doesn't do silly sins from 10 miles back and stuff like that. He'll set you up very meticulously, and so it's actually, as we see Finch there,
Finch, good save.
keeps it out of the wall fantastically.
Good save.
See Piper trying to go for... It's straight isn't really long enough unless you get a great run out of the preceding corner, but he does get the inside there and makes the move still. So he is up into provisional pole. Well, there's a penalty for Phillips up ahead, but as it stands.
That's right, so Phillips is currently set to lose a whole bunch of positions, which is really not the place you want to be. Unfortunately, that's going to throw him well outside the top 12 for the second race. So at the moment, Cisalano would be our P12 position, so that's the McLaren we're looking at here, which would mean he's in P1, effective P1 for the start of the race. But there's 16 minutes left to play, so I imagine that is going to change up quite a lot over the next 16 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. As we see Ferguson getting a penalty there for, I'm assuming it was the incident with O'Hara, just a 5-second little tap on the wrist, saying don't bonk people off the track. And we go on board here with Bob now, who will be joining us in the commentary box after he's done racing. Obviously lost out in this little battle with O'Hara, but he seems to have gotten ahead of Malloy here. I think Malloy may have been involved in a bit of an oopsie as he's dropped a couple of spots.
Yeah, possibly that may have been the battle we saw just before that Andy O'Hara was following. But they are battling for third in class at the moment, so Bob now sitting currently third in class for the Pro-Am.
Yeah, and Mitchell Weston sitting in P9 currently as the leading Pro-Am. So he's having a good time of it, and Siciliano, as you mentioned, sitting on provisional pole as it sits with the penalties. So we're going to have some Pro-Ams starting very highly in the second race if things continue as they are. Although I'm sure O'Hara will have something to say about that.
I think he's just enjoying this. I get the feeling he's just having fun. He's like, yeah, I get to start at the back, make my way through. He's currently battling Clark, who is a very quick driver in his own right. Oh, Clark just dips a toe in the sand. That gives an invite to Andy, who takes a look. He's not gonna go for it, but the Honda does go wide there. Oh, Andy gets a little bit squirrely.
O'Hara just put a wheel on top of that little curve there, which you generally want to avoid. So it just lifts the car up and then makes you get a bunch of wheel spin and generally ruins your lap.
Saw the big gap the Honda was leaving and wanted to try and pull it in as tight as possible, but it's a bit too tight, Andy.
Yeah, Zach Malloy with the 10-second penalty for the collision earlier.
He put a little hit on the Lexus, I suppose.
Yeah.
Clark and O'Hara.
Oh.
Okay, no, that's just a connection thing, I think. That was weird.
Yes, it was. So it was all over.
Oh, Weston. Is that Weston around?
That is Weston.
Around.
Oh, no. Oh, just go forward, please.
Yeah.
Leave
Back
the
on
children.
track. Yeah, that's right. He's back on track, but he's going to have lost plenty of positions there, so we'll see where he winds up. So I think he's definitely outside the top 12, so he's going to want to try and get a move on because he's back in P16.
As we see Oscar Liu. Oscar Liu has jumped into the pits. He was running in P7. Not sure what happened there.
So and that was the Honda going wide, and that was Andy O'Hara getting another position. So he is up to 13th position, I believe.
God, he made that look easy. Made it look easy.
So John's saying in chat that the server is being a bit weird. So apparently the Bentley appeared in front of Weston, which I'm assuming was Oscar Liu, and that may have caused the incident, which has seemingly ruined both of their races. So yeah, I think that's the sim racing version of mechanical difficulties.
How do we feel about the paddle pop racing livery from Alpha Venturi Nick Rhoda there?
We feel upset and disgusted. I mean, I'm all for bright colored liveries, but that's just ugly, man. I mean, especially the blue wheels. The blue wheels are just like the cherry on the proverbial poo freaking parfait. It's just so ugly.
There are not many options. There are not many times when coloured wheels play well. Oh, that's a Lexus finding out the hard way that the outside is not the place to be. Well, the other Lexus of the two, finding out that that's not exactly the place you want to be. And the Nissan is going to potentially have a dive into turn one. Yes,
Oh,
no, yes, maybe.
no.
No?
No.
No. I think maybe the Lexus has just allowed himself to go a bit deep to maintain the position, so clever moves from there. So much use of the grass in this race that I imagine that in 1.8 it's a lot worse for tire wear. Is this similar to that was the Lexus off the grass a little bit behind? Is this similar to like the British what track am I thinking of? Netherton, where the tire pressures just get destroyed from.
No, it's honestly not too bad actually.
No, Alton Park is what I'm thinking. You know how there's a lot of Alton Park where you're dipping the tires in the grass a lot, and tire pressures just get destroyed.
Yeah, if you remember a couple of updates ago, one of the smaller updates, they after 1.8 the tire pressures were incredibly sensitive, and then one of the post updates based on that it was fixed, so it's no longer quite as aggressive in terms of the pressure losses that you get. So no, in all the practice that we did here in both races yesterday, never got a pressure loss or anything like that. So I don't think it's too much of a concern.
Now Andy's up to P11, so he has already, in only 2/3 of the race, shot well past that P12 mark. So that was apparently that was an easy mark for him to hit. Now it's just a matter of how much further can he go. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him in the top 8, top 7 by the end of the race.
Yeah, this is an interesting strategic question. Does he try and score the points here and then fight back in the second race through a couple of faster drivers, or does he just sort of not push too hard and start a little bit closer to the front and then make quick work of the guys in the second race and then run away at the front? Knowing Andy, he'll just drive past everybody anyway in both races. So yeah, I'm sure we can see him getting up to maybe around Mr. Dab. I think the head of that is maybe Chile.
Weston now just got a 10-second penalty for collision. We didn't see that collision, but we did see Weston around, so I can imagine that it was around the same time, whether as part of the incident itself or the rejoin. So that's just a little bit of a kick while he's down. So he's back now in P20 with a 10-second as well. So that said, half the drivers behind him also have penalties.
Yeah.
So
so Patrick Oliver saying
looks like he won't even lose a position, actually.
No, he won't actually. That works out conveniently. Patrick Oliver saying he blue screened on the formation lap, which is why he's not participating in this current race. So he'll get another shot come round 2, but that's always unfortunate. And also, Buenos Dias, Moritz Wagner, and g'day Tom. Welcome all. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like Samwise's manly husky voice.
Yes.
Oh.
Manly voice.
Manly man. Oh, Eastern's behind Lamb, and then Lamb has managed to get past ECM. So we didn't see that happen on track, but I'm assuming it happened in the last couple of laps.
Mel just saying in the chat also, not directly the server, one of the driver connections is upsetting the apple cart.
Yeah.
Or the milk truck, whichever way you want to go about it.
I think it might be Oscar Louis, one of the drivers. Ooh, that's very wide there. That's going to give Burst some impetus to try and get involved. But yeah, Oscar Lou I think he's not based in Australia and sometimes has a bit of an interesting thing. So yeah, but he's the line Burst to get a little sniff there. Is my voice robotic?
Is it?
Voice slightly robotic today, but I dig it.
Yeah.
JP said yes, thank you, much appreciated.
Eat more, see.
Eat your rod.
All over the back of Siciliano. Looking to make up another spot. It's quite interesting that with the ballasts and the BOP being applied all 4 of the top 4 cars in this race are ballasted cars. So it's proves a point that the ballast only does so much, and that a lot of it is just down to the driver as well, not only the car.
The best drivers pick the best cars. that might be it too.
Yeah, I really don't know what is wrong with my microphone. I apologize if it sounds a bit weird, but try and battle through.
Sounds to me.
Yeah, sounds right to me.
You always sound good to me, JJ.
Aww. Sorry. Anyway, as O'Hara still hasn't made his way past Siciliano here. Siciliano doing a good job of placing the car where he needs it. And
I'm disappointed, JP.
in what?
Seem disappointed in your man.
In O'Hara?
That he hasn't made it past Sicilianus?
Well, no, I mean it's
Siciliano?
Siciliano.
he makes such quick work of very good drivers that sometimes you forget he is actually human, and he does have to set up a move every now and then. Yeah, it's he's one of those drivers where you just sort of, if he's not on screen, you're just expecting him to be overtaking at least 9 drivers per lap. But it's probably an unrealistic expectation.
That helicopter angle actually showing us the difference in the way Andy drives versus the other cars, which is really interesting to just get an idea of where he's gaining that extra speed. Right now, we might have a battle for the bottom end of the podium on our hands. So a renewed run from Burrs, who is now only 0.4 behind East. So will East get a debut podium, or will Burrs be able to get him? Let us know in chat. What do you think? We've got 4.5 minutes left, which means what, approximately 12, 13 laps of Grand Prix?
Yeah.
So don't do that to those people. They just want to get it. They just want to finish it off. Tack Grand has got a question in chat. How do they put ballast on? Well, there's some questions for you guys.
You mean in real life or just in terms of the game? In terms of the game, you put in a command that says add ballast. But yeah, in terms of real life, it's just extra weight plates that they add, usually in the passenger seat. As JC with the 50 Aussie dollars, I need these little South African tones in a much higher quality. Get Beach a new mic. It is a new mic. Oh, new-ish.
South African.
I need these dulcet South African tones in a much higher quality. Get Beach a mic. Is that better?
Ferox was saying just above as well. Turns out has a proper studio microphone, but it's on McDonald's toilet setting.
It is actually a proper microphone. I'm not using a headphone microphone anymore. It's one I got from John, but he always gives me broken things, so that's probably why.
He's not using a PC mic tonight like me. So apologies for if my husky tones are not quite as crisp as they would normally be. We do the best with what we have to play with. And tonight, this is what I've got. So, now we're having a look now at the battle. This is between Piper and Bab, I believe. So Piper and the Ferrari behind. This is very close from the Ferrari. The Aston's gone a little defensive, but the Ferrari might just chuck it in there. They're going to have to pull back just to avoid a collision. But that Ferrari is hot on the heels of P8. And then looking behind, that is another... that might be a back marker. Is it that Ferrari back there? Behind the 26. Yeah, that's correct too. Yes. Ferguson, who actually started in the top 10, so he has unfortunately not had a very good run this race, but he is going to get another opportunity next race. I believe we are on the penultimate lap now. Would you believe it? You can only get 2 laps in 2 minutes at Brands Hatch.
We see a donation from Matt Daddy from within the comments box. So thanks for that, Tina.
That's alright, you're welcome. Get the mic for the Tin Man.
Who's Mac Daddy? I haven't heard of this person before.
Some fella.
It's just some weirdo who races cars and...
Some boring Aston driver.
Um,
Moritz
yeah,
also says, Peach says, does not compute.
no, I have to say it apparently. It says
Peach
ASMR
say.
request
Ah, my apologies.
does not compute. Does that sound is that robotic enough? You see Piper with a great run on the back of Bad here, coming down the back straight, nothing doing. Sits back in behind him. Yes. What is the problem?
Oh, man, if he gets him, he's got to do it again the start of the next race.
Yes.
So either hold your position and you don't have to do the overtake next time, or do the overtake and give yourself the task for next race. But at the moment, it looks like Herbert is going to be our P12. So he's currently in the prime position, and we've got a Pro-Am, our first in-class Pro-Am, Siciliano, is currently, or Siciliano that is on the front row as well. 1 lap to go, we'll see if it changes. What do you reckon? Is Piper going to get Bab this lap? Place your bets, gentlemen.
I think Bab will hold on here. I think he'll just do what he needs to do. Make the Aston as wide as possible.
Alright, I'm gonna put one in for Piper then. I think Ferrari's gonna get it. Oh, a bit defensive from the Aston. It's gonna give the Ferrari a better run up the straight. So this could be the time for the Ferrari. Which way is he gonna go? He might run out of space and he's got to go to the outside. He does. He has to run around the outside.
Oh.
But that means that the Aston cannot pull in his tire. As we see our leader come across the line to win race 1. Rashmat, he qualified in P1. He led the start of the race through the safety car, led the restart, and won the race. Lamb in P2, fantastic result from Lamb, up from P4. East in P3, only lost 1 position there. What a great finish on debut with Verse in 4th, pitching in 5th, and we'll see the result of this race here. Is it going to be 8th or 9th? I believe it's going to be 9th for Piper, 8th for Bab. So Caneo 1 comes up by P6. Then lead is going to be P7. Bab and Piper. And then O'Hara to round out the top 10. What a great result from the back of the pack. I think he even started in the pits. So that is an excellent result for Andy O'Hara, who's going to start P3 behind Siciliano and Herbert. So yeah, I think we have an idea of how race 2 might go. Just an idea.
You never know what his brains hatch.
Absolutely, you don't. So it's gonna be a good one to watch. I'd love to see Herbert and or Siciliano hold on to the mighty Andy O'Hara.
I don't want to take too much away from their abilities, but based on the performance we just saw from O'Hara, I don't think there's going to be much holding him back.
So we get to see him tear through 20 cars to the front of the field. So that was an excellent race, though. Big props to Rashmat, who dominated that one. So qualified in first. Finished the race in first position. Great clean sweep there. So we're going to get another qualifying just for those who finished outside the top 12 to decide the positions for P13 onwards.
So, yeah. There's another...
So now... This is why we need to be we need to all be in the same room. And I can see you talking.
Sure, if you guys just want to move to Thailand, that'll be great. Very convenient.
Great.
We can just
we'll broadcast it from Thailand next week. I'm down.
Yeah,
Sorry,
sure,
we
why
could.
not?
Yeah, we have a spare bedroom, don't worry, we'll just pop you in there, it's fine. I mean, if you don't mind sleeping in the room where the dogs sleep, then that's fine.
Sorry, we could do cams in the comms booth. So now here's a test for you without looking at any track maps whatsoever. What are the corner names? What corner names do you know?
I can't say anything.
You need. Oh, you've got it. We'll put it down. And tell us a corner name.
Crap. We'll go the Graham Hill. Are we starting from? Where are we starting from? So I can
Well, we're gonna follow Pat Oliver for a whole lap. So here we go. 777 car. We're gonna hopefully stay on him the whole lap, and we're gonna try and say what the corners are. So what do we know what turn 1 is?
It's the Bradford Straight is heading down at the moment. I think it's the Paddock Hill bend.
Paddock
I think it's
Hill,
the
yeah.
first one.
Go down.
I think.
Is that correct? Okay. Does anybody know what this turn is right here?
That's the Druids bend, turn 2. There's Graham Hill bend next, I think.
Coming down to Graham Hill, then onto the Cooper Straight.
Then I'm lost after this.
This one coming up is Surtees.
Yeah, we got Surtees, yeah. So I know Surtees. I probably know about 2 turns in total. So
then he's on the back straight, and then coming down Pilgrim's Rock is what the little downhill is called. I'm definitely not looking at a track map as I'm doing this, as he's warming the tires. Coming into
he's actually on a
water.
flyer too.
Onto the Derek Minter straight. This one is called Westfield.
Like
And
the
then-
name
You've
is
got
next
it.
straight.
Are you looking at a track map?
No, definitely
No,
not.
it's on the street.
100% not.
And then
English Eames, and then
Eames.
Sterling's, and then Clearways is this here, and then the final corner is called Clark Corner.
Basically, I've Sheen and Surtees, and that's it. And here we go. There's the map. Just to remind us, that is the track we're racing on today. So that was not a valid lap. Okay, so that's why he started warming up. He must have been validated somewhere around I'd say probably turn 4. So this is here, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 rather. May have been an invalidation.
Just a quick fact about Brands Hatch. Sorry, Bender, I'm taking your role here. I've just lost where that was now. Brands Hatch, as it continues to make history, hosted the successful road cycling events at the 2012 Paralympic Games. Bit of a fact there. Brands Hatch.
See Oscar here, we had the connection problems. Macau Esports is the name of this team, so might explain some of the connection issues that have occurred, but here we're looking to qualify near the top of these cars remaining to start in P13.
Macau, I think, is the GT pile-up, so my hopes aren't high for Macau Motorsport. But I think he was a very, very fast driver. So
Yeah, luckily there's not as many walls as close to the track here, so I think we should be okay. It's
now,
There's the-
so what I think of with Brands Hatch is actually the original Toka race driver, or in Australia, V8 supercar race driver game for PS1, PS2? Might have been PS2.
Toka Touring Car.
One or both. Yeah, Toka touring cars. Yeah. In Australia, released as V8 supercars. V8 supercars 1. So and this is the first track. This is the test track or whatever. So when you start the career mode, they pop you onto the short version of Brands Hatch, where instead of going left on Surtees, you sort of snake around back over to the final turn. And yeah, so that's how I know Brands Hatch. It's the first racing game I ever played, first racing game I fell in love with. That was that one. Brands Hatch was the first track.
Yeah, the memories I have that I'll never forget of Toka Touring Cars 1 was on Christmas Eve 1998. We went to a midnight sale and my parents bought us a PlayStation 1 and Toka Touring Cars. And we weren't allowed to play it because it was already after midnight. And then the next morning when we woke up at 6 thinking, yes, we're going to go play, my dad was up and he played until 2 p.m. So we didn't get a chance to play the game until about 2 p.m. that afternoon.
What a memory.
God, I don't know if that makes me feel young hearing that.
Well, you are young and I am old.
Don't even tell us. Yeah.
I feel like I brought down the average age here.
How old are you, Jesse?
I am 26.
Okay, I thought you were going to say you're 16 or something.
Oh, no, God, no.
That's better. So I think I'm only about a year older.
Oh, that's okay then.
I mean, it's not
No, wait.
difficult math,
Yeah.
man,
Hang on.
If you're
Hang on.
27, you're a year older, mate.
No, I'm not. I'm 20. I'm 28. Hang on.
Okay, so you're 2
You
years
guys keep
older.
track of this? I've got to count from 1993 onwards. So
No, you don't have to
You're-
count the years.
you're
You just
20
know
you're 28
how
turning
old you are this
29.
year. God, you guys
We'll
are
do
so
now.
young anyway. I think we feel ancient.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're 29 this year, good sir, Samwise.
yes, that will be true. That will be true. But I'm not right
30 is
now.
coming.
Yeah. So, PJ, you have to let us know. It's rude to ask a woman her age, but we need to know.
Just because I have man boobs does not make me a woman. But I am 35. Yeah, I'm turning 36
Ah.
this year, so I'm...
Oh, I was way off.
That's not too bad. It's
Yeah,
okay.
35 was alright.
Don't feel bad
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
I have the knees of an 84-year-old man, but otherwise it's not too bad, actually.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So where are we at the moment? We're looking at the we can see P4 onwards. So Oliver and Weston, those who we expect to be quite high in this, are currently 5th and 6th. Gardillo is currently setting himself up to be P13 on the grid. So this is for everyone who's past the line now. That is it. Everyone who's on a lap right now can finish it. Round out this quali, and we're going to get race 2 underway for Split Blue.
Mitchell Weston is 7/100ths behind Padayode on his final lap. Of course, both of those guys were running fairly solidly in the top 10, and they had some fairly unfortunate incidents. So I'm sure Oscar will be looking to get ahead of both of them. I think Lachlan Nichols is still on a ballot lap, so he might still have a say in it as well. Chunky Sim Racer lies in my ballast. I am my own ballast when I race in the real car. As Oscar comes across the line here, will he improve? He does by, he absolutely dominates by 4 tenths there. With a 23.3, which is a pretty healthy lap time. Unfortunately, Nichols was unable to improve. So yeah, as we see there, Oscar Padeo, Mitchell Weston, Lachlan Nichols, and Mr. Phillips, the top 10 in the reverse grid Super Quali.
All right, they've got a bit of time to check their setups. Looks like we're on for another sunny one. So 30 minutes coming up for race 2 for Split Blue. I didn't mean for that to rhyme.
Yes, you did.
That's true. I
Own
did.
it.
All right, guess who is going to win Split Blue in race 2?
Yeah, boo.
Some already knew.
Uh,
Oh, we're all over
Okay, listen here, you.
this. Oh, well played.
So yeah, in about 1 minute they'll let the safety car roll through, and the top 12 from the previous race will stack up behind it in reverse order, and the cars you just saw in the Super Quali will then line up in the order they qualified in. So yeah, guys who had a bit of a rough first race, as we said before, they have a shot at redemption, having another go from a good position on the grid. But yeah, I think we have, who do we have on pole? I think it was Herbert, was it not?
no. Oh, was it Herbert? I don't know.
No.
I literally just
I
looked at the names and chose one. That was the one I chose. So
Yeah, no.
Someone will know.
And I remember we have a Pro-Am on the front row, and I don't think we can see them in the current list because I don't think it was Weston Nichols, Oliver Villanueva. No, it's not one of these. No, don't know. We're gonna wait. We're gonna be patient.
We'll find out.
3, 2, 1.
I mean, the countdown is very anticlimactic because it's just literally the safety car pulling away. So
Just doing
anyway,
it for the content.
Pat Grant asking
Joe.
who's the oldest driver in this field. Definitely not my dad, but yeah, I think from what I've seen before in the chat rooms and the discussions, OOR has a pretty healthy spread of age ratings. We have teenagers as young as I think 13 or 14, all the way up to guys in their 50s, possibly 60s maybe. So yeah, fairly healthy spread of experience and age.
Gotta love to see that though.
Derek said, "Lol, what did I just hear out of context? I think that might have been us rhyming."
I think that was the man boobs. That's
Oh,
roughly
Well, that too.
even better. That's
Jan just said to me before that we were talking about Peach being a robot. I made the mention he was a Dalek. That Jan apparently beat me to it. Say from Doctor Who.
exterminate.
Yeah. Can we get an exterminate?
ACP.
So
Go on.
Rhoda, I know Nick Rhoda is very young in this grid. He's
Just
16.
ignoring him. Meep more.
Zeep.
Deep more meep.
Brilliant.
Just embrace the need of robot.
So yeah, as they line up here, so it looks like we have Reagan Herbert
Stop
in pole.
ignoring us, JP.
I am not ignoring you. I am, but what am I ignoring?
Nothing. It's fine.
Ah.
We've got a race to call. That's the thing.
Okay, so I was correct in terms of Herbert being on pole. Siciliano in second,
Siciliano.
O'Hara in third.
Whoa.
Then Pepper, Bab, Van Fleet, or Van Fleet. Kunaya 1 pitching, Michael East, Lucas Burrs, and Matthew Lamb, Rahmat rounds out your top 12 finishes from the first race.
Alright, that's gonna be great. So Rashmart in what will be P12. So it says 13 on the, only because safety car is technically in first spot at the moment. So it will be P12. So I reckon, what do we think? What position is Rashmart, our race one winner, gonna finish in?
P2.
P2?
I was
okay.
gonna say top 5, but P2's very specific.
Alright,
I'm gonna go P4.
Alright, I'll go P3. I'll get somewhere in the middle there.
Split.
Alright. So it's going to be race 2 for OOR Split Blue Asia Pacific. And JP, he doesn't know it, but he's going to take us away.
Knows it now.
Knows it.
As we
Take us
see
away from the
Herbert
line for race
lead
2.
onto the straight here. It'll be a delayed start because of the reverse grid, so it's only going to go green when P13 crosses the line. As the leaders are crossing the line now, so we should be going green right about now. Herbert with a good start. Siciliano, not a great start. O'Hara already jumps in. Bab looking for the inside there. O'Hara getting very close to Herbert. He's wasting absolutely no time, and he is in the lead by turn 2. Michael Bab behind, jumping into P3 there as well. Side by side, couple of people 3 wide there. Seems to have gone through fairly cleanly. There's a Mercedes off the track. I think that's Jericho Naiwan. As Oscar Liu goes wide there, he avoids contact fortunately. So far it seems to be fairly safe. 3 wide into Surtees is a brave call, and that is why it's not recommended. Naiwan gets
It's happened! That is carnage in the middle of the track. We have a car park at Brands Hatch. And that is inevitably going to be a safety car call.
Aston bonks the wall.
Oh, no? Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Well, that would have been embarrassing to be wrong.
So yeah, I think that is just some evidence that 3 wide into Surtees equals a bad idea.
I thought they were going to get away with it for a second, JP.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're more optimistic than I am, somewhere, so that's probably right.
They got through most of it. It was right at the end. Just, yeah, unfortunately, everyone's trying to get that position.
So yeah, O'Hara with the start of the gods there, jumping into P1 by the time they reached turn 2. and sets the fastest lap as well. So there you go, a 1:42. I expected better pace from him, but is O'Hara's career over?
Yeah, O'Hara washed for sure.
We ran into P10. So what was your guess, Jesse?
P4. No, you said no. I said P4. You said P2.
I said P3. So we're going for P. If
I said.
Trying to stitch me up
I'm
with
just
P2.
You'll get P2, don't worry. You'll get there.
Yeah, I love the confidence. I love the optimism.
So yeah, Michael.
Nobody's calling for P1. nobody's guessing P1.
I mean, it would take a miracle. The only thing that could maybe ruin that is O'Hara's infinite, which, as we know, is not the stablest. So apart from that,
that's good.
I don't want to play a curse on O'Hara, but how far do we think he can get ahead?
Oh,
If he's on his day, what would we
on
say?
his day, 15, 20 seconds?
probably.
20 in half an hour? I wouldn't put it past him. I reckon he could do 15 at least. Oh, short laps. Yeah, I'm going to say, I reckon, given that there's going to be a lot of battling behind, I reckon he could be 15 seconds ahead.
As we're going to get a replay here of Chaos. So the top 10 or so, top 12 seems to have gotten through clearly.
Oh.
And then Merck right into the middle, and then Ferguson's day has gone from bad to worse, unfortunately, there. Yeah.
Is that an incident where the man should have held the brakes a bit longer?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
I'm not sure how much brake holding would have helped here, to be honest.
I think they've tried to recover it, unfortunately. So they've gone off track, and it looks like they've come back on with the hopes of resuming. I wouldn't mind seeing an onboard of that Merc. But, yeah, that's rough.
Tech Grant, Shapey doesn't have a younger brother. John is my older brother. He's the next split. And he's about, I think we're very close on pace, honestly, in most cases. But I'm much better looking than he is, so I win on that.
Typical siblings.
Well, he's not here to defend himself, so I can get a big in and have nothing back, so it's fine.
No, that was the Lambo, I believe.
Oh, no.
That was sent by Lamb there on Piper, he's round.
That is a huge shame. Now, I actually think we had a great run from Van Vliet. I think he actually overtook 2 cars on that restart, and we saw him through his turns 2 and 3 get Piper in the Ferraris, and that was a very good move from him. So he's actually up 2 more positions, P6.
Rahmat is going to be more than happy with that incident of Lamb, because that was one of the... Ferrari gets hit again. Yes. That was Michael East. That's definitely going to be looked at by the stewards there, but this has allowed Rahmat to gain quite a few spots and take out some of the guys that he was having a race with. So yeah, I think he'll be looking at making up some more spots really quickly.
So poll is up. Who's better looking, Jean-Pierre or John?
Oh, so far, okay. I don't know if I can give away where the percentage is at right now, but get your votes in. Oh, it's getting pretty even.
JP's taking the lead.
JP 60, John 40. Where are the John fans? Yeah, is Gibbo really your grandson?
Yes.
Oh well, there you go.
Grandma of the day.
And Malik is my adopted grandson. Excellent. Is JP's younger brother quicker than him, says Tack Grant. Oh, that's
what's launched the whole issue there. As we see Kitching with a great run behind Piper there. Van Vliet doing his best to make that Lambo as wide as physically possible. Kitching with the big brain move, trying to go around the outside. Piper pulls it back up inside. Really difficult space to overtake here, but Kitching says, I take the challenge gladly, and he just makes me look like a fool. Piper runs wide and loses out to possibly 3 positions here. That's Rahmat diving in behind as well. Yep.
I think he's going to get it. Unfortunately, that Ferrari's not had a good start, but it's what happens in reverse grid races. You generally have some of the faster drivers behind, well, not slow drivers, but slightly slower drivers than those faster drivers. because it is a reverse grid race. Andy O'Hara, 1:23.7. He leads 3.3 seconds. So, what were our guesses for the distance ahead that he might finish?
I just had a lot,
yeah.
so I think that covers a fairly wide spectrum.
Yeah, I'd say I was ranging between 10 and 20. That'd be my go. But I'll
great.
be specific. 12.3. Let's get very specific.
All right, 15.7 is where I'm going for then. So what do we got? Herbert currently P3. P2, Vav in P3. This is our little gaggle of quick cars. Sorry, was that JP?
I said that was a good send there by Piper on the inside, but Rahmat hanging it around the outside. I think he should be able to get the run. Yeah.
That's a good angle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh,
Oh,
no, that is sideways.
That was contact with East, yeah.
And he's back
Safe,
on
eh?
track. That was a drift.
Yeah.
That's Piper back on track. So was that Rashmat that he was engaged with at the time?
No, I think it was East who hit him. Rahmat was the Aston.
Oh, that's the replay. No, that is live,
Oliver.
and
That's Oliver.
it is. And that's the same car. That's Piper again.
Oh.
Yep. So that's
Okay.
a second incident for Piper, not a single.
We have Charles Clark in chat. Charles, you're in the race, mate. I don't know if you're aware of that, but your car was in there. So
Wait,
I'm assuming his race didn't go too well then in the second race.
Yes. Maybe.
He was the Honda facing the wrong way on the exit of Surtees, so I assume that's why he's not in there anymore. And yeah, so I think we're going to look at a couple of penalties coming up for a few incidents that we saw there. But yeah, we'll leave that to our stewards.
Yeah, you could think that Pat Oliver might be still in front of that potentially for that last contact. So we'll see what happens. And we don't know who the contact was for the Ferrari.
It was Michael East. It was East,
Michael East, was it?
because they were both drifting in unison as they came through there. So I think that was what caused it.
Rashmat at the moment up into P9. So we are currently looking down upon the Aston of Rashmat. That is him in the purple. You see there, so he's chasing down Lucky Nichols ahead in the Lambo. He's got 3 Lambos ahead of him actually. So Aston versus the Lambos. Who's going to win?
Background asking if I pull the plug on my brother's computer to win. I don't do that, but what I do is I get his wife to order delicious food and then put it next to him while he's racing. And then he gets distracted when he crashes, and then I win. So play the long con.
Very tactical.
O'Hara already 6 seconds ahead, so yeah, he's just in a class of his own at the moment. Lucas Burrs is up to P3 already. He started in, I think, P9 as well. Patrick Oliver with a 10-second penalty there. I think that was to be expected. Oh, Nichols getting a little bit squirrely there, but keeping a hold of it.
Very close,
Here we go.
very tight.
Here we go.
That's Rashmat up on the first Lambo. Lucky Nichols has fallen victim to the Rashmat. Next up, Marcus Van Vliet, car 424. As Andy O'Hara goes faster yet again with a 23.5.
Coming up to some lap traffic here, which is unusual in a super sprint, but I'm assuming that's one of the cars that maybe fitted to repair some damage after that lap 1 incident.
We saw spinning around actually. He was involved in the three-way. The three-way. That was
Crazy.
that was he himself spinning across the middle of the track that all the cars are piling into. So yeah, he's definitely been in for damage. I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually even further down the field. So O'Hara 6.9 ahead right now. we're having a look. We're just looking there at the pitching in the front Lambo, and you can just see in the background of them, you've got Rushmat chasing them. This is Zach Malloy right now down in P16. Another battle here. So Lamb on Emmans.
So Lamb was running fairly high, but he got involved in a bit of a sprint, so he's on the fight back to get some good points again.
A little bit wide from the
Yeah, Lexus is really, it looks just like a road car, just looks like an aggressive road car. There's nothing special about it, especially with the liveries. It's so unfortunate that Toyota has their rules for the liveries. As we see Rahmat there fighting back against O'Hara with a fast slap there. Lamb gets a good run on Michael Mans down the main straight here. He should be able to make that move stick.
already done. There it is. He's already ahead, so as long as he doesn't run too deep, he doesn't. Oh, the Lexus might lose out to another position though. No, the Bentley's
Oh,
no.
He might lose out,
right
yes.
in behind. That is very unfortunate. Bentley smashing into the back. Which Bentley was it? Find out next time on OOR.
That's unfortunate for him. I think
Mr.
that Michael Mans has been involved in an incident in both races now. And I think both incidents with Zach Malloy, so they just seem to be able to find each other on track and don't like sharing the same piece of content apparently.
Coming back to the road, JP, you are the better looking brother.
Well, I know that, I said that. So this is not news to me. But thank you for confirming it, Jeff.
That
I
is
appreciate it.
Same thing to you both.
Retake the vote.
That's
I
right.
was waiting for it to say stop the count after he got ahead.
That's right. I saw, you know, I heard JP logging into his multiple different YouTube accounts and voting.
Anyway, the race is going very well here as we see Rahmat on the back of the Lambos again. Samwise, nothing more to say about that.
No, I have nothing more to say about that. I want to talk about you and John.
I don't know who this PJ and all the other names are that voted, but I thank them for their vote of confidence.
Malloy with a 10-second penalty, but that is not the incident we scored just before because it was not lap 3 at the time, unless that was the incorrect lap number. We was it Zach Malloy that we saw in the Lexus booping the chute on the
Yes.
on the Lexus? So
believe
that
so.
there could very well be another penalty coming. So right now, this is Rashmar trying to get up to P7. So this is going to be a great little scrap. Van Vliet is not is no slouch at all on the track. So
Yeah, Rahmat is all over the back of him, but Complete doing the Brands Hatch basics and basics. No, my English is so bad today. I don't know what's going on. I think Sean Connery disease. He's just placing the car exactly where it needs to be and making it much more difficult for Ahmad to find a way past at the moment. Spurs has got past Herbert as well, up into P2. So I don't think we'll see him closing that gap on O'Hara, to be honest, 1.5 at the moment. But Kitching will be looking to make his way past Herbert as he's already passed that there.
Uh-oh. The vote's being switched, Mr. JP. You're not the best looking brother.
oh no, JP get in and vote.
Yeah, get those accounts out.
It's okay, my mum told me I'm a handsome boy, so it's fine.
Oh no.
45 to 55. The John fans are coming out. There's still 11 minutes left, I think. Is that right on this?
Charles, I'm not sure what's going on with the microphone, mate. It was fine earlier in TeamSpeak, but I'm not sure what's going on with it in the Discord at the moment. So apologies if I sound a bit robotic.
More.
Yeah.
And Rush Smart is still behind that Lamborghini. It's taking very, very different line. Let's have a bit of analysis here. So Lamborghini is just keeping it in the middle of the track, just making it difficult for Rashmat to track it down the inside, but Rashmat takes all of the track so we can get a better run here. He might have a little look up the inside. He's done a little dive.
Oh.
They are going to be touching. They're going to be rubbing very heavily there. Lamborghini is going to try and stay around the outside, and he's going to be on the inside for this corner here. So he's going to force the Aston wide, but the Aston's going to get it around the outside, and he's going to be done before we get to 30s? 30s.
Yes, 30s.
Yeah, that was
a heck of a
mystic
dive.
move by the Aston, yeah.
I'd be interested in reviewing that one, because that was just rubbing all the way through that corner.
Yeah, I'm
he's
due a
up to
service back that is, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe it's just the there.
Up to P7, yes.
Yep. He's behind Siciliano. No, he's not. That's not Siciliano. But we are on board.
We're looking at Kitching.
Kitching, sorry. Apologies.
That's Kitching and Herbert. So this is the battle of P4. They're a couple seconds behind the front three. Now, and just an update, O'Hara, 10.4 seconds, but we've got a bit of an attack in turn one. That could be ugly. Are they going to get through? I'm very surprised that was a clean turn one. That looked like there were going to be two Lamborghinis in the dust there. So very impressive they were able to pull it up. That was very, very aggressive from Kitching, I believe, on Herbert. Yep. So that is up to P3 for Kitching. Very good run from him. He's now 3.9 seconds behind Burst. 10.5 behind O'Hara, so so far 10.5. I think your guess, Jesse, might be a little short.
Yeah, it's a little bit short, but I was getting quite scared when he was actually getting away a lot further every lap. I thought it was a bit closer to your guys for a little bit there, the 15-20s, but it appears he's they must be running the same lap time. They're just
I think it's now that the Burrs has made it through. He's one of the guys who's able to generally match Andy a little bit.
Well, maybe, just maybe, the 12.3 or something like that. Maybe it will come true after all.
Over the back of Siciliano there. It's a good run. No, he's not quite alongside him. He'll be diving back in behind him. And he gets a good little undercut there. And gets the move done. Now Mr. Bab is next on the menu.
Twice he did. He just forced McLaren to defend. Took the better line.
He has 10 seconds worth of penalties. I'm assuming that's for unfortunate little hit on Piper there earlier. But he's looking to make up some spots and try and lose out as little as possible with that penalty.
So, in chat, Mac Daddy says the P spot needs some work. Oh, that's mean. But Charles Clark says Domo arigato, Mr. P-Botter. Mac Daddy comes back with Peach Squad activated. So, if you have any questions for the Peach Squad, please,
he's got to be disgusted in this, isn't he?
I would. What are we looking at now? A battle between East, who is in the bright orange Bentley, and Nichols, but the Bentley does have a 10-second penalty. Looks like he's going to make this move stick at turn one, though, unless they rub. That's very tight line taken by Nichols. That was brave, but unfortunately he does have to give it to the Bentley. Fastest lap for Matthew Lamb. So Andy O'Hara has been in clean air this whole time, but Lamb just comes out and smashes that time altogether. So that is an impressive feat.
Yeah, he's on the fight back, and when you're driving angry, those fastest laps just appear out of nowhere. So he is running in clean air at the moment. He has a 4-second gap to Oscar in front of him. So that's certainly helping his pace. We see Van Vliet right on the back of Siciliano here. Siciliano, of course, started in second with a reverse grid. He's dropped down to P7 now, so not a bad race for him, as the Pro-Am probably not used to starting on the front row. So it's always fun when you're fighting against guys who are so much quicker than you, trying to find a way to stay ahead a bit longer.
Good experience though. It's always good to have experience is so wealthy, especially with tracks like this.
Yeah, exactly. It's especially a track like this, as you said, where it's difficult to overtake, as East gets a good run there on Van Vliet, who went a little bit wide on the exit of the final corner. That move will be done by the time they reach T1. And East will be looking to move on to Siciliano now. He's still trying to recover a little bit of a gap for that penalty.
Rash mode update to P5.
For O'Hara. Rush mode in P5. Alright, so we're getting close. 7 minutes left, 2.7 seconds he is away from Herbert. And then another 2.7 up to Kitching. So Jesse, you're looking strong at the moment.
Yeah, I'm bloody best run tonight. Jeez, I need to hit the tracks. These bets at the moment.
So we're currently looking down at P12.
Oh, jeez.
Carnage for everybody.
That was...
that was very adventurous and
I don't want to say it was stupid, but it wasn't very smart.
It's tempting when you get the run to try and thread the needle through like that, but there just wasn't the gap there. And unfortunately, that sent one of them straight off into the Shadow Realm, and that is... Oh, this is going to be a move potentially from the Bentley. So this is East again, up on Siciliano. So this is for P7. Of course, he's still got the 10-second, but we don't talk about that.
East just seems to get such a good run out of that last corner with a Bentley.
Ran wide, he might lose it again.
Yeah,
one. And unfortunately, it is the diver who is the one who gets spun around. We'll have a Lexus going slow. It might be backmarker letting cars through. Might put himself in danger going that slow more than is necessary. Oh, yep, he's just sticking it to the outside. Good work, staying out of the way.
So this is Siciliano, who was the one who tried to send it on East there. He's lost out about 4 or 5 positions there, so not ideal. It's one of the risks you take when you go for an optimistic overtake. Is sometimes you lose a lot more than you stand to gain by just being a little bit impatient.
A little battle pack here though. This is great. And yeah, you're right. He is, and he's now stuck behind Lamb, who is our fastest man on track at the moment. So here's
Get
the
a replay of the Paddle Pop Mobile. So Mitchell Weston trying for the run on Finch there. Both of them running a little bit wide. Nick Rhoda deciding I'm just going to send it up the middle here. And it's one of those ACC physics, collision physics that happens sometimes where a very tiny touch just has a much larger impact than it's supposed to have. And yeah, just unfortunate there for everyone involved.
To correct my comments that it doesn't seem from that angle quite as absurd to try to go into the middle. I guess at that point though it just becomes a game of chicken. Who's going to be the one to back off? Because we know from lap 1 rather that 3 wide does not work. 3 seconds.
No, it's one of those things where when you're driving the car, it seems like a great idea because I can make up 2 spots. But in retrospect, it's probably just, it's not worth the risk. You know, it could pay off, but is it really worth putting 3 people's race at risk for that? So, yeah, as we go back on board here with Oscar Liu, he's doing very well in his second race after an unfortunate internet issue in the first race. So he's running in P9, having started in P13. All over the back of Van Vliet here, maybe he can get a similar run out of the final corner that East seems to be getting with that Bentley.
Try my comment said it didn't doesn't seem from that angle quite as absurd to try to go into the middle. I guess at that point though it just becomes a game of chicken. Who's going to be the one to back off? Because we know from lap 1 rather that 3 wide does not work. 3 seconds.
No, it's one of those things where when you're driving the car, it seems like a great idea because I can make up 2 spots. But in retrospect, it's probably just, not
Guys
the
around the
win.
outside, not the best place to. Rushmat looks like he might be making a move on Herbert right now as well. He must be side by side with that Delta. I think we might see Rushmat up into P4. We might miss that one. Yeah, I think this is taking a little brief hiatus, that battle there. Rushmat may still be behind Herbert, so we might
find
flick
out
to
in
that
a
one a
moment.
little later. This is the battle for P10, right? No, this is the battle for P4. So this is Rushmat that we're on board with right now. So he has been side by side. I saw that Delta being 1/1000th. So this is definitely a good battle to be watching. Herbert's a fast racer. And he's just trying to hold him off. But Rushmat is very, very quick. He's very efficient at overtaking. Oh, a little tail wag from the Lamborghini.
This
Oh,
back
little
sector
on the grass.
Brand
That's
Hatch is
risky.
such a precise sector. It looks so impressive when you nail it because the wheels are almost a couple of millimeters away from touching the grass every time, but it's so satisfying when you get it right as well.
I think he went a little bit too far that time. He did. I think he made himself a little nervous there.
So we have probably this lap and one more lap remaining, I would hazard a guess. So he still has some time to get the move done. Being very patient behind Herbert here, trying not to force anything. But yeah, I'm assuming Jesse is cheering out loud for Rushmat just to get into people.
I am quietly
Oh,
getting
there we
started.
go.
Oh, here we
Watching
go.
the Lamborghini.
Thanks,
That was
JP. Thanks for that.
Clean
Quite
move.
excited.
Although the
It's
Lamborghini
not
might have
funny,
a
is
slight
it?
bit of run.
Lambo with the legs down the straight, he sits it back in front of him. Not making it easy for Rushmat, but
Want to make the move down
No,
here? Is he going to dive?
No. It's alright, it's there. It's there, Ratch. Just take time. Take your time, mate. Take your time. Wait for a mistake.
some unbiased commentary.
Oh, I'm quietly cheering on here.
Teammate of yours, is it?
No, Team Aston. That's right, just Team Aston in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
And he bet that he'll be in P4.
Yeah, so it's better
obviously
P4. My O'Hara bet's now gone. He's an extra. He's 13.7 seconds up now. So
I mean, that
Gotta hold on
counts
to
as
something.
a lot, right? I said a lot, so 13.7 sounds like a lot.
Could be close to your
Was it?
12.3 or my 15.7. That is very close from the Aston. He really chucks it towards the inside, but he's not going to make it work. We saw him try that move where he throws it up the inside before, and there was a bit of collision. So he hasn't done that move. He's going to have to try and get a bit closer because he's now too far away. I think we might see... Oh, he's actually just lost it through turn 3. So he's a little bit too far away right now. That's given a bit of breathing room to Herbert. So, that must be a back marker there.
Esports one.
Yeah, that's right. So, I think we might see Rushmat come right up on the back through here. Let's have a look at the gains that he gets. We know he is a mega quick driver, so have a look. He's already getting mighty close.
He's kept it, but
O'Hara crossing the line for the comfortable win in the second race of round 3. Burrs and Kitching will be crossing the line in P2 and 3, and these guys are still fighting hammer and tongs to decide who is getting P3. P4, sorry.
P4, yeah, that's right. The Kitching has got it. One more turn to go. It looks like this is going to be a great hold from Herbert. He's going to be very happy with that. He comes home in P4. Rushman in P5. Big shout out Andy O'Hara to come home in P1 for the second race. Split Blue started at the back of the grid for the first race. Made his way up to P10. Started third on the grid. He was first by turn 3. Held it. And he was miles ahead by the time he crossed the line at the end. And what have we got? So we got Rushman, that's the battle we saw there, P5, and then Eastbound, Van Vliet, Lamb, and Nichols. I got the wrong ones. Van Vliet, Lamb, and Nichols ran out the top 10. Split Blue second race. Good round from Split Blue. lost JP.
JP is gone. Don't know where he's gone.
Excellent. It's just you and me.
Yeah, that's alright. Got a
He's
one-on-one
like,
time?
"Screw you guys, I'm not a robot."
Yeah. Rhoda getting a bit spicier in the end there. So bring on the rainbow paddle pop. Yeah, I could go for a
Rhoda
rainbow
comes
paddle
home
pop right now.
P20 plus a 15. Yeah, right. It's one of those bubblegum bill.
Oh, Buffalo Bills. Oh,
Buffalo Bill. Yeah, that's the one.
don't get me started.
Buffalo Bill Racing. Oh, it's paddle pop racing. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Left him in 20 with a 15-second penalty. So, not he's not going to be extremely happy with that, I don't. But so O'Hara, Burst, Kitching, Herbert. O'Hara, Burst, and Kitching are the top three in the standings at the moment. So I won't even try to guess where it's all going to sit. But I know that they had strong finishes in race 1 as well. So I don't suspect we might see any dramatic changes because they did have a bit of gap between themselves as well. Lamb is 4th in the championship, and then Herbert in 5th. So Lamb didn't have a great second race, but Herbert absolutely did. So we very well might see Herbert jump up a position into P4, but it looks like Herbert and Rashmat were on the same point. So Rashmat is for sure going to jump him. So I reckon we'll see Rashmat jump from up 2 spots to P4, and Herbert probably will stay in P5 in the championship or something to that effect. That's my best guess for now. Great racing from Split Blue. We are 4 minutes into Split Red, so we are going to jump across and see what's going on with them, but not before we check out I think we're going to see the finals standings for Split Blue. Before we do, yes, we will. So that was in race 1, Rashmat, Lamb, and East. And then in the Pro-Am, we had Siciliano, who came home in first, Bubnow and Finch. And in the Am class, Ferguson and Matthews. And then for race 2, so O'Hara from Burst from Kitching is our podium for race 2. Pro-Am, Nichols, and then Siciliano and Bubnow. And Am class, Ferguson, there he is, and then Matthews in the Lamborghini. Great work from Split Blue. We'll see you next time. We are across to Split Red, and we're partway through qualifying. In fact, we skipped the boring bit. We skipped the outlap, and we're straight onto quali. Straight onto the quali laps.
Oh, well, that was a very, very enjoyable Split Blue. But it is my time to dip out. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
It's been a pleasure, as always. Good to come with you again, and see you next time.
All right, on to the next one. Hope to see you guys next time.
And we'll be introducing Sean, I believe, into the comms box pretty soon. Where are we now? We're looking at Corey Sweet in the Nissan. I believe he might be on his first quali lap. Yes, he will be on his first quali lap at by this stage, I believe. I believe. That is a backwards Lexus, I believe. On the grass back there. Not where he's meant to be.
Well, I mean, maybe it's where he wants to be.
I don't know. With 5 minutes left of qualifying and no time on the board, but yeah.
I mean, I try not to judge, but does it sound better, the microphone? I don't know. I restarted everything, so hopefully it sounds better now.
I couldn't hear the roboticness before anyway, so...
Sweet crossing the line here for a 305, so that was an update. So
he's starting, he's flying now. Yeah, so
track is still damp at the moment.
Still damp at the moment? Oh, it is! You're right! So it was raining earlier, so... Now, the interesting thing about this is you basically just want to be the last possible... You want to be the last person on track, effectively. When it's something like this, it's going to go green and then optimum. Basically, if you get a lap in 30 seconds later than someone else, that can make a difference. That can make a pretty significant difference in the time that you can set. So those who are those who are crossing the line now, so car 22, 18, 61, they have a good advantage because they're going to be the last ones to cross the line. I think 889 and 79, I think will get there as well. Who are these cars? 889 is the Ferrari of Riley. 79 cannot see, but those cars that are last to start their final flying lap are going to get an advantage. So Rory Sweet might be not in the optimal position because he will start his final lap a good 40 seconds before the final people start their final flying lap.
True, but it also depends
maybe-
on just the timing when he's going to be able to cross the line, as he does P1 there. And Justin Cruz says, "No, mate, I'll take that from you by 4/10 in the Porsche."
I think he's knows it. I think he's gone back to pits to capitalize. He's going to leave. I reckon he's going to go out. He's going to come back out while it's about 3 minutes left, so that he can do one out lap and then 2 flyers, one cold tire flyer, one warm tire flyer. He wants to be out on the track right at the end. It is the smart play here when the track is damp, because it is going to keep getting better with this sunlight.
Yep, as we see Gafour here across the line for his first flying lap, he goes P7.
It's a bit rough.
That might be a red penalty.
Could be reviewed, actually, JP.
Yep, I think that definitely might be a looked at as a red penalty possibly.
They would have both been on valid laps, and you cannot pass somebody who's on a valid lap in qualifying. So you need to give the space. There it is again. That's the replay.
No, that's Ferox. That's a live one. Yeah.
It's a live one. Oh no, Ferox.
Stefano Ricciuti here. Oh, it's almost contact outside of the track limits. I think he may have invalidated there, so this will no longer count as an actual lap for him. I had a lot of people on.
See if that was an invalid lap or not. Find out soon. Well, not many people are on valid laps.
No, it's crazy how many people. Not sure if many people boxed or something to. Possibly some people try to go on the wets, on the damp track, maybe?
I reckon they've come out on dry tyres that are incredibly cold, is I believe what's happened. So because the track is still damp, they've all gone in and pumped up their pressures. I believe that's what car 32 would have done as well. So these definitely aren't the best times yet that we've seen. So Cruz currently P1 with a 28.8. We know that the qualifying times were in the low 22s or the mid 22s, I believe, last
low
split.
23s, yeah. High 28s, low 23s.
I thought we saw a 22 in there as well. I think we saw high 22s. Yeah, that's right. So 28.8 is, so that's good 6 seconds slower. So that's what the damp track is doing to these times at the moment. So 1 minute, 15 seconds left. Remember, if you cross the line before it gets to 0, you get to finish that lap. So ideal position, you want to be the car that crosses that line last as the track is getting better. I'm surprised it's still damp and hasn't gone to green, actually. It looks pretty good.
Also took quite a while to actually go to greasy. I'm not sure, it might be to do with the temperatures. You know, it's only 17 and 18 degrees, so it's not that hot. Shady Samuel getting all kinds of sideward out of turn 1 there. But he is currently sitting in P1, one of our rookie graduates from last season, looking very strong so far.
It's a bit tricky in the damp because it's not, your car is not behaving the way you expect, and so I think the optimal tire pressure is about 27.5, between 27.5 and 28.0, and a lot of these drivers would have gone out, done a couple of laps, realized the tire pressures are not getting above 26, come in and pumped them up a good 1.5 all the way around, gone back out on track, and we can see that dry line forming on the home straight, actually. So there's 6 seconds left. So this is Gafour going to be the last one to cross the line. I think he won't be. He's going to be a bit too late. So
yeah,
the last country to cross the line was 65, car number 65, which is Ben Floyd. So he is in the box seat. Set a great lap here. I think we could very well see. Oh, who was that?
John Sonicus. Yep, as we are joined by certain Mr. Sean Bucknell. Good evening, sir.
Sean!
And good evening, gentlemen.
It is a good evening. Is it a good evening for you? How was Split Blue?
I was sweating bullets that entire race. That was intense.
That's a strange thing to be sweating, Sean.
Yeah, well, you know, when you've got some pros behind you going, hello, I'm a lot faster, and you going, please don't kill me, please don't kill me, yeah, you kind of sweat a little bit.
Yes, but if it's
Bullets,
bullet,
I
you
mean,
should have
today,
that. Look
like-
at that. Track has gone greasy.
Is
Sorry
the
to
analogy
interrupt
that
there,
you're
Samuels.
sweating really fast? You like shoot the bullets out?
Yeah, just about.
617 gets a 6th place grid penalty for multiple infractions. That is Fahad Ghafour, who we saw with that attempted overtake.
Unfortunately, you
one of
cannot overtake somebody on a valid lap. These are the final laps coming across now. We do have Ben Floyd, who will be the last one. We see 73 coming around the final turn. We're looking at Ben Dye right now, who currently doesn't have a time on the board. Oh no, he does, but it's 27th. So he gets one on. He's in 15th. Ben Floyd's going to come across the line. Here's the last one. Is he going to jump up? It's in P6 currently. Ben Floyd is in P6 when he crossed the line. That is it. It is Samuel Roam, who tops qualifying with a 28.6. It disappeared.
So this race will be starting on a green track, which will make T1 and T2 very interesting to see.
So everybody's going to have to be careful because they are not going to have the grip that they want coming into turns. They're going to have to take it easier because you're going to see a lot of cars running wide, and especially when you've got a turn like the turn one here, running wide is not pretty. You'll end up in the sand, and that's when accidents happen.
Yeah, so what are the odds on a safety car, do we think?
Judging by every other split, probably fairly high.
I reckon they'll make it. I'm optimistic for Split Red.
Yeah, so there's definitely a safety car. We have that established now. As we look at the grid, we have Shady Samuel, Justin Cruz. I'm not sure who's in P3. I think it's Corey Sweet and then Cameron Thistlewaite. And Brad Klink, new debutant here in the OOR Sprint Series. Mercedes, Ben Floyd, Alex Valentini, McIntosh, Frisbee, Sonicus Kafur, and Jamie Conboy.
I think it's about time to have a look at who is currently leading the leaderboard. Leading the leaderboard.
Topping
Who
the
is
leaderboard?
currently? Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Justin Cruz in P1 is currently leading the leaderboard for Split Red. So where is Cruz? Is Cruz here tonight?
He's in P2.
In P2. Oh, excellent. Amazing. Rashuti. And then Missin, our P2 and P3 currently. So I imagine they're somewhere up there as well. Missin is actually back down to P22 in the Audi. So that is that has not been a kind qualifying for him. Was Rashuti somewhere up top?
No, he didn't do particularly well in quali either. I don't think he got a proper lap in. He's not in the top 26, so...
Corey Sweet is next up on the in P4 currently on the ladder, so he's P to be said was P3. I think he is. In the Nissan, looks like he is P3. There he is, and then Sonicus is the next one in the Lexus. So Cruz, Rashuti, Missin, Sweet, Sonicus are currently the top 5 on the leaderboard for Split Red after 2 rounds of racing. So we've got Cruz with 1 win, Corey Sweet with 1 win, Cameron Ross with 1 win, and those are the 3 races that we've had so far. So
don't forget that the standings currently include a drop round as well, as we have a drop round for each season. So it's calculated with that drop round calculated in. So
yes, yeah. You are right. So if we look at total points gained so far, Sam Missin has the greatest total points banked so far with 217. So if we were not accounting for the drop round already, then Sam Missin would be on top, followed by Corey Sweet, followed by Justin Cruz. So Missin, he's got his work cut out for him tonight, back in 23rd position. Can he do an O'Hara, get himself up to P12? This is a reverse grid. The second race will be a reverse grid race with the top 12. Cruz in a great spot for himself, and Sweet, they are the 2 championship contenders up the front, so we'll keep an eye on them. Pro-Am of Shady Samuel, in the Samuel's Racing Carnival 5 entry, is P1. What a great job. That just reminds me of, when you see George Russell performing well in the wet weather. Always shakes things up. A little bit of rain on the track.
Rain, the great equaliser across the field.
I was just about to say exactly the same.
Great minds think alike, JP.
Yep, exactly. Hello. G'day, Steve Lewis. It's my best Australian impression. G'day, mate.
That's not bad.
Hey, mate. I always try and do an Australian impression, and it never goes that well, if I'm honest. So, so right now you're looking at Samuel on the left. That is the McLaren of Shady Samuel. The Pro-Am is leading the field. Cruz on the right. Sweet behind them. Thistlethwaite, that's Ferox on the second row. They are about to go green for split red. Round 3, and they are away. And that is a terrible start for Samuel. So you are going to see that might be Sweet in the lead. No, it's not, but he's going to be up into P2. Although, like we talked about before, you can run wide, and they did. So Cruz has run wide, and he's now caught up in. He did not get caught up in that incident, but you do have an incident from, that was P4 and 5, who got into a little accident there.
That's a Lexus that came in.
But we have some carnage at the back of the field. There was a lot of shake-up at the start. We saw Corey Sweet with got a really quick jump on Samuel up the inside, right off the start there. And Cruz looked like he should have been able to hold it around the outside, but he absolutely couldn't, because that green track has not been forgiving and ran him wide, just as we said. And that is the Ferrari, who was in P4, is currently up to P3. So the big loser there is Samuel. I think he might have been caught up in that incident as well. So an excellent qualifying and a really, really unfortunate start for him. So absolutely devastated for
very sad looking Mercedes right there.
Second-hand looking Merc with an active aero on the bonnet there. That's Brad Klenk, who's making his Sprint Series debut here, and welcome to the Sprint Series, is all I can say.
Isn't it just welcome to Split Red?
Well, that's true. I mean, it's not called Split Blood for nothing. So,
from first to 23rd goes Shady Samuel. So this is it at the front. So you see that Shady Samuel in the McLaren there. So that's the Ferrari there. They get squeezed. So there's a bit of a squeeze between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, unfortunately. So because the Cruz was not quite ahead. So let's have a look back. We're on board with Plank. So you can see that that's Shady Samuel, who lost from P1 down to this position, but they are effectively 3 wide right now. So Shady Samuel probably didn't do himself many favors by sticking so close to the left side of the track. Unfortunately, probably not realizing they were 3 wide, and that is some carnage back there as well. So we're going back a little bit just to see. Oh, that is Alexis slamming into the wall. Car number 78. What happens to you, Pete Chalmers? Oh, it gets a little squirrely, and another 3 wide incident, unfortunately, just throws him across into the wall. Yeah, a couple of these cars going to have some pretty major damage. That's a Porsche back there as well. Just getting caught up in an incident.
It's just it's the one critique. I love ACC, and I put a mammoth amount of hours into it. But if there's one thing that I would critique, it's that some of the collision physics just cause incidents that are much bigger than it should be.
Yeah, I just agree.
Little side-by-side impacts that should just be absorbed. Obviously, that's very difficult to simulate in the physics and stuff like that, but it results in a car just ping-ponging off, and that's why you see incidents like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of a few of them in my time here at OOR, but sometimes it works in your advantage, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, I guess you just roll on the dice. We try our best here and try and keep it clean as always.
Absolutely, I'd say we're probably one of the cleaner leagues around. So OOR is very well known for having a great rookies program, a great program to build the skill of drivers. So we're some of the best league drivers that you'll find. But no matter where you're racing, there are always going to be incidents. Everybody's hungry for position. I'd say they did improve it with 1.8.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. I was just going to say not to forget the the live stewards that we have as well that sacrifice their time to come and help us regulate some penalties when those incidents do occur. As Sweet is going to lead us away on the side car, he's gone early. Both of them sliding out of the last corner. Sweet, I don't think he caught Cruz napping, but Cruz just couldn't get traction down. Thistlewaite, somebody got caught napping very badly there. I think it was Valentini who lost out quite a bit of time. As everybody single files into turn 1.
Yep, see if anyone's running wide here. We're still on green track. It's not a hard thing to do. Big props to Corey Sweet, who started the race in P3, I believe. Samuel got an awful start and he... What's that, sorry?
It was P3, just confirmed.
It was P3. He flipped himself to the inside when Samuel got a poor start, and he ended up getting a run on Cruz, got himself into P1. Very, very smooth start for him and a great restart as well, so he shot off into the distance. Cruz is nipping at his heels though. I think that's going to be a great battle there between the Nissan and the Porsche. Right now we're back having a look at Frisbee in the McLaren, who's chasing down the Lexus. The Lexi have just been having awful rounds recently. The last few races I've seen have not been kind to the Lexuses that we've seen around.
Well, to be fair, the last race you saw was Bathurst, where all the Lexuses were Tomax cars, and not many of them had good days. So it's recency bias, I would say. We've had some good results.
Are we not racing right now?
We are? No, I think that was just a delay.
Yeah, just delaying the podcast.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought we were racing.
Definitely 100% racing. We are on board with Stevie Ty at the moment. Keen to chase down Mr. Ross ahead of him in the Audi. Coming onto the front straight there, hopefully getting a bit of a tow.
Guy who, in the last 10 minutes of the Bathurst 12 hour on the weekend's team, jumped up into P3, got that position at the last moment to get the bottom spot of the podium. So great work for them in the Bathurst 12 hour this weekend gone.
Oh, the Lexus off. Who is that? That is Fahad Kafur. Not sure if that was self-inflicted or he was assisted, but unfortunately he is off the track and facing the wrong way. As it's quite close up front here, Cruz not really dropping back from Sweet. Currently Floyd all over the back of Ferox, looking for a move around the outside here, which doesn't necessarily always go well, but can force the move on the inside. Valentini looking interested as well, Floyd blocking him on the inside, and no line is centered there. Floyd with a poor exit there, but Sheen is not an overtaking spot. So hopefully Valentini just hangs back and does.
There is an overtaking spot. You better hope if you're on the outside, you have someone very kind on the inside, because a little push wide and you are gone there. So this is going to be a great battle. I think these 5 cars are really well matched, from Sweet to Cruz and Eric Floyd. As Valentini nearly throws himself into the pit wall. I think we've got a very well matched. In fact, we have equal fastest lap times. Corey Sweet, Justin Cruz have set the fastest lap equally to, that means it's to the nearest 1,000 that they are setting. They set the same lap time. I have not seen 2 purple markers on that leaderboard yet, so that's how well matched. Okay, I'll go on a little rant about how well matched they are, and they go and do some crazy stuff like that.
It's interesting, yeah, I think that it happened last night as well, so I'm assuming you didn't see the second race last night.
Don't take it from me.
It happens, I'm just saying it happens, okay? That's all.
Well, I'm excited that it happened now, okay? Alright?
I'm not pissing on your parade, I'm just pointing out, just ruining your story with facts. That's all I'm doing, sorry about that.
Well, I haven't seen it before either, so I'm happy.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
No worries, man. I got you.
Thanks. Having a look in chat. Hey Steve, how you going? Hey Benjamin. Good to see you. We are looking at a great P1, P2 battle right now. Tech Grant says, gee, doesn't take much for a NASCAR style crash, and yeah, you're not wrong there. And Benjamin Wright says, cold tires on the restart, surely everyone's actually safe to get around. Yeah, you would think so, Benjamin. But then you also think of the ambition of the drivers going, everyone's going to take it easy on the restart. Maybe I'm the one who shouldn't. And then you just have everyone who thinks they shouldn't. And that's pretty much how it goes every time. And if you're
Those are the ones that prove Benjamin wrong? Is that
If you're the one staying safe, you're the one dropping down the field, and so unfortunately, sometimes you just have to risk it for the biscuit.
Sometimes you do, but sometimes also safety is just yielding to maintain your tyres that little bit longer, get the pressures right, and then you can actually attack on a more aggressive front a lap or two later.
So Valentini has got past Ferox there at some stage. Ferox under a lot of pressure here from McIntosh, and Sonicus and the Lexus behind having a look gander, seeing if there's going to be something that develops in front of him, like perhaps that. He avoids it pretty well, but that's going to give Frisbee a little bit of a look in as well. So McIntosh a little bit all over the place through the middle sector here.
Yeah, definitely under a lot of
I
pressure.
think you're a bit biased with this battle. I'm sorry, JP.
You clearly not.
Brother.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no.
Is he the better looking brother? Is that what the poll was before in chat?
Oh, it was like 55% to John, 45 to JP, something to that effect. So
Not anymore.
you know. Wait, not anymore. What is it now? 52 to JP, 47. So no, this is the less good-looking Sonicus up against Frisbee behind. I'm sure he'll appreciate us referring to him in that way. So up front, it is still crazy close between Cruz and Sweet. So we've got a couple of great battles happening on track at the moment. Very exciting. And Ben Floyd did ruin the party briefly, and then Justin Cruz come in and took the fastest lap from him again.
So Iman Pali is saying next special event should have been 12 hours of brands. That would be fun.
Hey, suggest it to Mullet. Just
in,
suggest it. I'm sure it'll be fine.
In some other news, the next special event was just announced today, and it will be the 12 hours of Spa-Francorchamps. So, yeah, get ready for your sign-ups there, and get ready for another amazing weekend of racing in OOR special events.
This is an excellent battle for P1. Yeah, very, very keen to see this one go all the way to the end. So, cool. Oh, there we go. Spa 12 hour, 22nd to 24th of April. Oh, and we've got a whole weekend. It looks like. Is that correct? It looks like there it was showing the some Friday activities, some Friday racing, some Saturday racing, and quali, and a Sunday event. If I'm not incorrect, same as we did for the back.
Looks like it's going to be 3 on the Friday, 3 on the Saturday, and then the main event on the Sunday.
Oh, is that Stephen Plum? That was a back marker getting in the way a little bit there. Fortunately, didn't seem to cause anybody, but McIntosh has an inside line.
Yeah, that is a rigid-ish position. Oh, no, it's not. Ferrari's still on the outside. So is that Ferox in the Ferrari?
Yes. So there was another Ferrari at the back there, Stephen Plum as well. Ooh.
Oh, that is
McIntosh wide.
the inside. This is Alexis wanting to get a position on both of them. He doesn't. He does get it on McIntosh. So now you've got Ferox being chased down by Alexis, a Bentley, and a Clark coming with McLaren behind as well. No, is that Valentini in the...
no, that's Frisbee.
Valentini.
I'm done. I have no idea. No, we're looking... They're chasing down Ferox, right? They're chasing down Frisbee. That's who we saw at the front.
Yes, he is the Ferrari.
Yes.
Yeah. As we see Carl Johnson try on the inside of Frisbee into the last corner, doesn't quite get it done. But yeah, Sonicus managed to gain the one position on McIntosh there, as McIntosh got squeezed a little bit wide by Thistlewaite. But Thistlewaite maintaining position as it stands.
That up front is getting even closer though. So it's right on the back during that first sector, and then it just looks like Minisson's just got better legs than the Porsche down the straight. So if he's going to make the move happen, it's not going to be here. Oh! Is that right? Is that true? Or was that the dream event?
That's optimistic, as the DLC hasn't officially been given a date.
Have I missed something? Well, that was so it looks like that was the hope for event, or maybe
thinking of OOR.
Or is it the replacement event if it gets announced?
The CEO of who knows, let's say that the car DLC pack is coming spring, and
We're off to Nürburgring. That was a tentative announcement for the third race of the year, third special event of the year. That is.
it seems more likely at the moment for the tracks to be coming in around September, so July to September is roughly the dates.
Okay, good run from the Porsche down into turn one. I mean, it has been the case the last few laps as well. Nissan goes very defensive. Porsche is going to get a better run out of turn two, though. He's going to really challenge it down here, but he's not going to be able to dive down the inside, and so they are back to even Stevens coming through turn 4 or 5, whichever one. I think that's technically turn 5, and into Surtees, and we're just going to have the same thing again. Oh, Porsche does try going a little bit wider, maybe to get a better run, but I don't think it's going to have be much of a match for the Nissan.
And the Nissan acceleration is just too good for pretty much anything else to really match it, I think. Sonicus had gotten past Thistlewaite there, so Thistlewaite will be back under pressure from McIntosh and Frisbee now. Currently, we have Cameron Ross sitting on reverse grid pole, and if you remember at Monza, he did win the reverse grid race for the split, so maybe he'll be looking for a repeat of that.
He's currently P7 in the standings. Valentini has the fastest lap. He is Pro-Am and currently also P8 in the standings and leading the Pro-Am championship. And he's currently fastest lap in P4 in this race, so he's doing a great job as well.
I don't think he'll be a Pro-Am for too much longer based on the pace that we've seen from him so far this season as well.
Well, if he can keep showing it like he is now, I'm sure that's the big man will probably agree with you. For now, he is Pro-Am, and he is leading the Pro-Am championship and currently P1 in Pro-Am in the race. Looks like the Nissan just got himself a bit further ahead of the Porsche for this lap, and so was not under fire during turn 1, turn 2. Into Surtees they go again, the Nissan and the Porsche. It seemed a little unnecessary for Valentini to compromise his line for a little look there.
Just making him aware that you are there, try and make him flinch, as we see Shady Samuel getting a 10-second penalty for that lap 1 incident.
Definitely that was more like a scare tactic, just to say, yep, don't forget that I'm still here, boys. I'm just going to keep looking, but this McLaren is definitely looking very pacey at the moment on the back of Floyd.
From that angle, it looked like he ran a bit wide there, but
I think it was the Nissan that ran a bit wide, and he's actually gotten the better run. So Ben Floyd is currently just getting eaten alive by Valentini. So
it's just one of those. The Nissan is such a hard car to overtake here because of it doesn't have the best top speed necessarily, but acceleration is just so good as well. So Valentini is really going to have to get up early in the morning to get one past Floyd here for sure. But this is all good for the guys behind to catch up a little bit as well.
Oh yeah, Mr. John Sonicus. The less good-looking brother is 5.5 seconds behind Valentini at this point in the race. He has made his way by the crowd, the Thistlewaite McIntosh crowd, so if he can pull clear, this battle might help him to get a little bit closer to P4. But for now, we've got two pretty distinct battles up front. Sweet and Cruz, who are still within half a second of each other. There they are in the top of the screen, and then you've got Floyd and Valentini right here. Two excellent battles with 4 excellent drivers right now. This is great, great theatre for us.
Yeah, Cruz putting so much pressure on Sweet is also allowing these guys to not really lose touch with the leaders. So it's keeping all of them fairly close together. I know it's a 2-second gap, but the 2-second gap is just a tiny mistake away. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody's going to try and make an aggressive or desperate move at some stage, getting frustrated, being stuck behind. It does happen. As I say, that Corey Sweet does the fastest lap, so I apparently know nothing about racing.
No, we all do that from time to time. Think it's going nice and calm, and then say one thing, and then these drivers show their master class and prove us wrong. I mean, happened to me countless times.
Ooh,
Sideways.
It'll be a good run from the Porsche. He did get a little bit closer during turn 1 and turn 2 again. But just look at Hussein Nissan Sweet, who's going to zip away up the straight from the Porsche, despite the Porsche being all just gone. Nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I think the crews are going to have to find something special in the opening sector, especially with that Nissan. It's just got the legs in the faster part of the track here. As we see Valentini still on the rear of Floyd. Some nice battles in the top. And looks like we got Thistleweight chasing down Frisbee as well. Ooh, as we see Ross side by side. The battle for 10th is that? Yes, it is.
11th. Yeah.
11th, sorry, my mistake. I don't know numbers. I just try and drive cars fast.
Yeah, that's Ross and Lee side by side. That's the Ferrari there. Goes a little bit wide, allows Ross to get through. But that's going to give Thomas Riley, Mr. Creature, a shot here at the reverse grid pole, which he seems to be willing to take with both hands. As that's going to compromise. Everybody compromised. They run out of the last corner there. Shady Samuel, of course, behind here. He was on pole. He's trying to fight his way back through.
No, Samuel's fast because he was on pole for the race, so that is not good news for Riley, who's trying to get himself into P12. The next race is a reverse grid, so if you are P12, you start P1 the next race. That is the position you want to be in. So they are going to be, this is going to be a great battle to see. This is, last race it was a bit more spread out. Now this is a battle pack for P12, so very, very excited to see how this plays out. Having a quick check in the front two battles. Yep, going good there. That McLaren just won't get off the back. It is magnetized to the back of Ben Floyd's car. And it is not easy to go through some of those turns. Wow, that looks... He went deep under brakes there. It's not easy to go through some of those turns being so blinded by being so far behind. Another close battle, P7 v P6 as well. So there's just a little... That's the top... 3 great close battles in the top 7, and then you've just got the less good-looking brother of JP Sonicus just hanging out in the middle there. A little bit too fast.
Equally good-looking now, so...
Equally? Oh, that's... Oh, 50-50. Alright, you know what? That's a much better tag line.
Whatever. Just whatever. Racing is more fun than talking about how ugly my brother is. As we see Shady Samuel here all over the back of Thomas Riley. This is not an easy place to be in. Riley takes his normal line, not defending. Gets a great run out of turn 1. And we are line astern into turn number 2. Aaron Lee still behind Cameron Ross there. Guys are just following each other. Nobody appears to be quick enough to make any kind of move stick, and of course Shady Samuel still has that 10-second penalty to deal with. But a glimpse there of Ben Bike in the back, and I throw up a little bit in my mouth every time I see that livery.
Oh, you love it so much.
It's livery in the field.
The best livery in the field. I mean,
Nice cut.
I'll pay for your eye exam if you want that.
I've really got my glasses on, so my eyes are looking good at the moment, but thanks for the offer regardless. As we're still watching Riley here, with Samuel behind, Lee just ahead, and then obviously Ross ahead of this little battle pack. Well, looks like Riley might be getting swamped on the outside here by Samuel, but no, the status quo stays the same as they head down to turn 2. We're just going to start sizing each up.
What do you reckon it would be an interesting tactic to let Samuel through and try and capitalize on Samuel making an overtake on, potentially an overtake on the Ferrari ahead? You've got 6 minutes left, you're in P13, you want that P12 position, but you've got Samuel breathing down your neck every time you try and make a move for P12. So I wonder if a better move might be to get Samuel through, try and compromise Lee. try and get there.
It's
So,
potentially a tactic, but you also don't know if maybe he gets involved in an incident and you bear the brunt of the impact as well, which is always a possibility. So it's better just to run your race as is, basically.
well, that's one way to call it. He's definitely close. He's closing in ever so slowly on Lee. So it's definitely something that he can do is make that move. It's just a matter of what Samuel's going to do behind you. So he's very quick. That's our P1 qualifier there, currently sitting P2 in prime class, but with a 10-second penalty. Will be applied post-race.
I think it's one of those things for Samuel as well, where it's not really worth him trying to put a bit. As Aaron Lee gets a good run on Cameron Ross coming into turn 2. Ross taking the wide line lead, taking the tight line that's going to leave Ross on the inside for turn 3 or turn 4, I guess.
Wants. Yes, it's what Riley wants. He wants them compromised into that turn because Riley's going to get the better run. That is going to be, he's going to potentially do a dive up into Surtees. This is his opportunity to get into P12. Is he going to take it? He unfortunately does nothing quite hard enough. Potentially very smartly doesn't send it too hard because the Ferrari up there of Lee did not want to lose that position and kept it around the outside. Did very good to hold on to P12 there.
I think the line was just a little bit too narrow there for Riley to come through. Compromised his corner speed exit there, but Samuel was almost capitalising on that as well. Oh, as we see, third ahead may have had a bit of an off. That might be different kind of force potentially. Could be wrong.
In some ways, you sort of think, well, if you battle too hard with the Audi ahead, you compromise your ability to stay in P12. Though, on the other hand, if you get ahead of the Audi, you solidify your position just that little bit better as well. So it's this sort of difficult gamble where just then, by having that battle, he nearly may have lost out the P12 position to the Ferrari behind. Looks like he's going to get that.
Good run there.
Now that Audi is great around the outside for the second time in a row. It holds its line. The Ferrari had the inside run twice there. It goes a bit deeper here. But again, they're side by side, and again, the Ferrari behind is a better run. But now you're going to have a compromise run from the Audi into Surtees. So you really want, if you are Riley right now, you want to have gotten a wider run onto the straight, which you didn't quite do. Set yourself up for a faster run so you get that run down the straight. Right now, it's nearly going to be 4 wide with Samuel over there as well. There's only a couple laps left, and they all want that position. This is one of the best battles for P12 that we could want for, and Riley has gone off. He's gotten just back on in time, so Samuel is up in P13. That is not doing good for Riley's special P12. The battle rages, the Audi versus the Ferrari trying to go around the outside there. And that might be another position for Samuel. It is, so the battle is back on for the Ferraris behind as Samuel goes through.
But now the battle has been joined by Ricciuti and the Lamborghini. So, all this battling has just brought them back down the field a little bit and allowed Stefano, who obviously didn't have the best qualifying, to catch back up and potentially put himself in position to get that P12. 2 more laps remaining.
You see Samuel there behind this car, but the 3 cars behind that are the ones battling right now for P13. Ricciuti is one of the fastest cars, one of the fastest drivers on this track. So he's currently second in the championship. And he has an opportunity. He's got a couple laps with which to make up 2 positions in order to get the first, to be P1 for the next race. So he is not going to give up that opportunity. I think he's going to push very, very hard to try and make that happen. And this little battle here between Samuel and the Audi might just condense these cars again and cause another little inevitable carnage battle pack. As the Audi hits the grass, gets a little bit of a bad run. And look how close that Ferrari is behind of Lee.
The Fezzes are definitely looming, waiting to see if there's going to be a bit of a daisy here from Samuel, but they also know that the 10-second penalty, they've probably just solidified that extra track spot, knowing that that penalty does loom over his head, unfortunately. This is where in this last lap or lap and a half, depending on what's going on, what do
Few
you
laps left.
decide to do?
So that's it for these guys. So there he goes up the inside. That's going to leave the Ferrari the opportunity to get the Audi as well. He's got a compromise line through turn one. So the Ferrari looking to make a move on the Audi. The Audi taking again the wide line. It really loves that wide line. In fact, it almost looked like he was going to potentially make a move on the McLaren around the outside. I don't know what it is, but there's grip out there for the Audi. And there it is. The Ferrari's going to take a look. Now this is the opportunity for Raschuti, who's going to go up the inside, it looks like, of Riley, and a slightly compromised line. The Ferrari's on the grass, so it's going to get an awful line in fact. And that is Raschuti currently in P12. He's done it. He's overtaken the two cars he needed to, and he's currently in the box seat, I believe.
I think so.
But I think that is the case. And you've got Riley behind you. All you need to do is make up one spot in order to take that position. I could be wrong. We're having a look. No,
You are correct at the moment. The timing has updated. Raschuti is
the Audi currently in P12? No, because of Samuel. So the Audi is Raschuti is in P12. Riley unfortunately lost out to Raschuti, who came through and just dominated all of them and got through to P12. So Riley, unfortunately, unless he can make a move here, is going to finish outside the top 12. Oh, the Audi nearly runs wide on the final corner coming across the line. We didn't even see the leader, which was Corey Sweet.
No, one more lap.
One more lap, okay.
Oh, one more lap, there we go.
I take it back. I take it all back. Our broadcaster did not ignore the leader coming across the line at all.
Raschuti with a move on the Audi on the inside there. See if the Audi can hang it around the outside. He cannot on this particular occasion, but that allows Preacher to maybe have one last look at Ross here on the final lap. Raschuti now going to start in P2 for the reverse grip, but P1 is not settled yet. Let's see if these guys can battle it out as Cruz and Sweet here. I mean, Cruz can most likely draw the back of that GTR from memory after this race. He's been staring at it so intently, but great racing by Sweet, maintaining a clean line, just placing the car where it needs to be. They crossed the line in first and second with Ben Floyd with a Valentini trailer on his rear end.
Ben Floyd and Valentini, 0.1. We just skip past them because everyone's crossing the line. Valentini only 0.1 behind Ben Floyd across the line. So Corey Sweet wins the first race of the Super Sprint. What an epic finish for them. They were within half a second of the whole race.
Good run by Preacher.
He's taking a look. He can only go around the outside because the Audi is defending hard. But will the Audi be able to pull it up? He does. He holds it. That was a very, very close final corner. That Ferrari really wanted an inside dive, and he didn't get it. And unfortunately, he's going to start. Well, he's actually going to have to qualify for P13. He's just unfortunately found himself outside the top 12. Raschuti is going to be on second on the grid. Ross in the Audi is going to be our P1 starter. He was our race winner at for the second race at Monza. He's currently P7 in the championship. He's putting himself in a great position to pick up some more positions in that championship as well. That was a great race. Big props to Corey Sweet. Third to first in the first corner. Held it, kept it, had a battle within half a second for the whole race. We didn't get to watch it the whole time, but that was an immense amount of pressure from the very fast-running Cruz, our current leader in the championship. Ben Floyd as well with Valentini. Great battle for second and third. Sonicus, the equally as attractive brother. Home.
No, he's not anymore. I'm better looking again. Yay!
It's like it didn't matter to you before, but now it does. It's like now I'm winning.
That's the same way. It's racing. Just focus on the racing, Samuels. There's racing going on.
You know, it happens. Race happens. Corey Sweet won. That's the story.
And I'm the better looking brother. And in other news, we shall now move forward to the next qualifying.
Once the session ticks over, obviously.
Eventually, yeah. So hopefully we'll see Mr. Brad Klink if he can get a good qualifying position after a rough start to his first race in the Sprint Series. He will be looking to start the next race from P13, I hope.
You'll keep an eye on Samuel as well. Remember, he did qualify P1 last race, and he is in the Super Quali as well, so he'll be well and truly up the pointy end of the field, trying to
Yeah, that's a good
capitalise on the unfortunate result that happened on the turn 1 in lap 1. But as the super quali here is the great equaliser for those that have had a bit of an unfortunate time, we can hopefully see some kind of redemption. And there's the session ticking over, as I say it. Beautiful.
So I think he was back down in 22nd, 23rd, something like that after that accident. So he really clawed his way through the field. So he absolutely is going to be one to look out for in not just the super quali, but in this next race, especially if he can start right up the top end. I just realized I've got my headphones in and I'm basically yelling in a hotel room. I'm like, I wonder if people can hear me. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Sorry, excuse my language.
It's okay. I'm sure they hear worse things in the hotel.
Yeah, that's right. Any racer. What the heck is going on? And in that hotel room, somebody's screaming about P1 crossing the line.
It's alright, what they don't know doesn't hurt them. We all here at OOR love our racing, so we are passionate about it. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, we can just comment to our heart's content.
Until they call reception and brass on me. That's the.
Yeah, but just tell them, give you like half hour and you'll be done.
That's right. There's only one more race to go, guys. Back off.
You can give me 37 minutes. You've got 6 minutes of quali and then a 30-minute race, and then you can have your quiet night.
Just to spite them, it'll be the most high energy commentary of all.
Yeah, go big or go home in my eyes.
Well, I can't go home, so I'm only left with one option.
If I am home already, does that mean I by default have to go big? Or
Yes.
I mean, wait.
if I am big, does that make it good enough? Or
Well, if you're big and at home, then you automatically win.
I mean, that just sounds like the best way to be.
As we start to see the first cars coming across this line for their first valid laps and attempts at trying to nab that P13 spot, obviously because of the reverse grid order. So they'll be definitely trying to get up pointy end here.
quite an interesting team name here for Bradley. Subtopic Sim Racer. It's certainly unsettling, but yeah, not really sure what to make of that.
Considering not in my split, I'm okay with it.
That's a good point, but it's in all caps, which makes it even more worrying. So it's yeah, be careful around him, I guess. But he does seem to have some pretty impressive pace in general, so I'm sure we'll be looking to challenge Chevy Samuel here for the Super Quali pole position, which is technically 13th position.
I've said his first few times coming over, as see him missing to a 25-2. Currently topping the board.
So the track is optimum at the moment, so we should put a little bit of a clip out of the last corner there. We should be looking at some low 23s, I would say, from Samuel and some of the guys who had a bit of a rough first race.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might be trying to just get that banker in before really trying to send it or push the limits of their cars. As you see, you're forward to a 24-7. So the times are starting to drop down already. Went faster than I've ever gone around here.
Gafur, as we know, is no slouch. As you see Aaron Lee there with a 24.5. Times are starting to come down as people are getting the tyres in the window. They're starting to pick up the pace a little bit, getting a bit more comfortable again after running in racing conditions. So I'm sure we'll see something much better from Flink this time around. And hasn't done a lap yet after, so where is Shirley Simon? Has he done a lap yet, or?
He won.
Yeah, there you go. He's on a 24.5. He said he won at the moment.
Okay, just another line.
You got to wait for those live timings to update.
Yeah. Then coming around the final corner here, this looks like it will be a high 23, low 24. And does a
It's like a
24
24.9.
9. Surprising.
May have had a bit of a compromising line that we weren't seeing a bit early in the lap. Lost a few tenths. But still very pacey times as the top 11 are split by less than 7 tenths. Now they've changed to 9 tenths. As we see Convoy take out the position at the moment with a 24.4. McLarens are very pacey around here at the moment.
It's got Optimum.
A couple minutes remaining. People probably get 1 or 2 more laps in, judging on rough track position. You would want to hope you can get at least 2. You're trying to anyway. And hopefully you'll
Everyone will get-
on. Sorry,
Yeah,
you go.
everyone will get this one and one more.
So
Yeah, nobody will get another one after that.
Bender was in chat earlier asking about some technical difficulties. Apparently no in-game audio and other difficulties. I'm not sure if he's managed to sort that out, but might be why he wasn't performing quite as well as usual in the first race. So hopefully he'll have got that sorted and be a bit more competitive this time around, even though it is not raining, so he's not in his natural habitat, but we'd be hoping to see a good performance from him.
Maybe you should have switched to split green. I think they both had green wet races for both, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they were both wet, which was fun. Oh, squeak!
Yeah, if you haven't got sound, you got to make your own sounds to make get that immersion happening. Hopefully, he's been studying the sound of the Merc.
The Merc has the best bit limiter sound. It sounds like an old Russian diesel truck going slowly, which is quite funny. So you'll definitely be enabling that as well.
Indeed, as we see a 23.7 from Samuel, so there's your 23 prediction already. Your 4 only a couple tenths behind, and Riley just on half a second. Definitely speeding up at the moment. Those tyres will be well and truly within the window. Now it's just up to the drivers to push to their absolute limits to see what kind of time they can get out of their car in these last dying seconds. People might be lucky enough to sneak across the line to get in another lap. Oh, as we see a car a bit sideways there, that is not the ideal position for that car. Unfortunately, I think their day is done for Super Quali now. As we are still on board with Riley here, let's see if he has an improve on his time.
I think we'll see a couple of these cars all across the line to get their final laps. I think we might see 117 potentially as the final car if they can make it around. They might just not make. Oh no, looks like they'll get there in time. So he's go across the line. One, he is. So he does get one more lap.
No, he made it. Okay.
And he is on a valid lap, so this is he will be the final runner. Convoy is. He's currently in P3, but the track has been getting better and better. It is optimum now, and has been optimum for a few laps, but these lap times have been getting consistently better. So I get the feeling it's just been heating up a little bit. Just a little sketchy there. Unfortunately, that is his lap done. He's still on a lap. Car 54 is about to come around the final corner. 42 coming across the line right now. So 42 is not someone where I can see on the grid, but 54 is missing. Currently P6, he's going to come home in P6.
P6, yay!
Gafur is still on a lap as well. He's currently never mind.
Somewhere.
Okay. So it's all down to Pete Chalmers here to hopefully improve. Move up a couple spots.
Giving it clean to that apex, very nice. Second lap corner, don't know if he's up or not.
I'm not sure, he's done a 25.3 I think. He was doing comfortable 24s in practice, so hopefully he would have improved on this lap and move up quite a few spots, which we'll see. Not really.
40.
No, doesn't really
Oh.
improve.
Anticlimactic, but well, that is it. And I think was it Samuel who topped the time?
Yes, Samuel
It
topped the
was.
time by 0.2.
No surprises there. He did qualify P1 effectively both times.
So it seems cloudy, but no chance of rain. So Bender automatically is very upset. And for those who are just tuning in and confused as to why only certain cars were qualifying, this is a super sprint race. It's two 30-minute races, and the second race has a reverse grid for top 12 and 13th, and down do a super quali to determine starting position from P13 all the way down to the back of the grid. So in about a minute and 10 seconds, the safety car will roll out and they will line up in reverse order all the way to P12, and the rest will line up as they just qualified, and then we will go racing. It is quite funny seeing the cars up on their jacks completely sideways like that, trying to get them level.
Yeah, just the left side attached to the track. Don't worry about it. We can still service the car. It's all good.
Safety first. So, what do we reckon for our top 4 finishers from the previous race, who were slightly in a class of their own? I mean, they were 6 seconds ahead of the nearest rival. Will they be able to make their way through the field?
I reckon Rashuti is going to reshoot himself into the distance. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Shady Samuel somewhere in the top 4 by the end of the race, or top 5.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the top 3 given his pace. But I'm excited to see.
That's where just disconnected.
Everything should be.
You'll have enough time to rejoin. Hopefully, you
Oh,
can get back in
rejoin
before
in the
they do
pits,
the
though.
top 12.
Disconnected?
You're 4.
Now, if he rejoins now, he will be in the pits. He'll have to start from the pits.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That is correct. So 617 is in the pits. Is that Gafor? Is that who we're talking about?
Yep.
That's a shame. So it will be a pit start for Gafor.
So it's potential. I'm not sure if he disconnected or maybe he did something wrong on his setup and he just returned to pits to fix it.
No, I think
Either.
he might have just not clicked drive.
That's also possible, yeah.
So, in fact, I think that's the most likely thing because of the timing from when he flicked back. I think he may have, not clicked drive and he's flicked back. And unfortunately, that is just where he is. He's going to be starting from the back, not just the back of the grid, but from in the pits. So he'll be a good, 5 to 10 seconds behind the rest of the pack by the time they get by the time they start the race and he gets out of the pits. So we'll see. We'll have a look where he ends up. But for now, going to be Stefano Rashuti in P2. It should be, but it looks like he might be P1. So I'm not sure how that works.
Well, he finished in P12, didn't
he? Did he? Was Rashuti P12? I thought Rashuti got himself up another position. I thought he got to P11. I thought the Audi finished in P12.
Huh, where is the Audi? The Audi is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. So,
the Audi was ahead.
Yeah, the Audi was. Who was the Audi? The Audi was
Cameron Ross.
Cameron Ross should have been in P1 for the start.
Alex Valentini as well in the pits. So
maybe Ross had a bit of a DC.
He absolutely is not in the server by the looks of it.
Oh, I mean, Rashuti will be rejoicing about that. So will Stephen Thai as a technician both up to the front row.
Johnson, Ferox. We've got a good lineup for the top 4. Actually, it hardly looks like a reverse grid race, to be honest. So Brennan Frisbee. Sure, but Frisbee also proved himself to be a fast racer as well. McIntosh, Sonicus, Floyd, Cruise Sweet, Samuel. Yeah, it's a convoy. Yeah, this is a very fast field altogether, but this certainly doesn't feel as much like a reverse grid race because we've got such strong drivers all throughout that top 12. So I'm just looking forward to a good race.
Yeah, I reckon we're in for a really competitive race here, I would say.
So we're looking, when you're looking at, so this is from the back of Rashuti. So that is the Lamborghini of Rashuti there on the right side from this angle. The Porsche, Stephen Ty. So look out, the green is Stephen Ty. Let's familiarise ourselves with the second row. That is
Thistlethwaite and Johnson.
Thistlethwaite and Johnson, yeah. So that's Thistlethwaite in the Ferrari on the left side. You've got Johnson in the Lexus on the right side. Those are our front two rows. They're the ones to look out for. They are green. It looks like Rashuti's going to get a good run, but that Porsche really wants to run on the outside. It's not going to happen. Rashuti's going to be in P1 come the end of turn 2, I believe. Ferrari's gone well. The Lexus didn't get quite as good a start, and a lot of McLaren challenging around the outside. So far, P1 to 4 has been quite clean. Looking back a little bit further, you got Ben Floyd really challenging. Unfortunately, a bit of a tap on the backside of that Bentley, who is now in the middle of the track. Bit of a boot to the snoot, that McLaren as well. Unfortunately, they are still backwards. I'm not sure whether we have been called any kind of safety car. It is just one car that's spinning around on the track. Unfortunately, it is McIntosh. He's trying to get going again. Safety car is in. Now, where is our main man from the pits? It looks like he is out on track. Running at 7 and 18 at the back of the field at the moment. P1 to 4, all clean, exactly as they were on the grid, I believe. And that is Frisbee and Floyd then. So Floyd's jumped up a good couple of spots. Sonicus in 7, Corey Sweet in P8, and Comboy in P9. So he was in P13 or something like that, I believe, Comboy. Samuel in P10 from P12.
Sonicus will be looking at a penalty there, unfortunately, for that little tap on McIntosh. So he'll be looking to make his way forward and try and build a bit of a gap.
So the 617 car having a bit of an incident down the back of the field as well.
But he's the one who started from the pits, so I'm not sure if it's related to that. Let's see. Windy here, all over the back of Shady Samuel. I'm thinking Samuel will try and cap this little gaggle of cars here and start moving forward. He's got a good run out of block over.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a couple seconds behind now, but got Convoy up ahead, so he's going to get a move on, I believe. He is, well, should be argued, the fastest man on the track at the moment, given that he qualified P1 twice, so it's definitely one to look out for. Look how much grass they take. It's kind of crazy. This is Frisbee chasing Johnson in the Lexus at the moment. So everything is fairly even, Stephen, from 1 through to 5, and then we've got Ben Floyd just chasing down Brennan Frisbee as well.
Of course, Ben Floyd was behind that little incident that happened. Cameron Ross in chat saying his internet went down. That is very unfortunate,
that's why we
mate.
have lost the Audi. Sad to hear, Cam, but there's always next time.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough when you've got yourself into P12 or to start the race in P1, especially given the amazing scrap that they had for the first race. So I'm really sorry, Cameron Ross. That's a pretty mega, a mega shit time to have your drop out.
Bit of a hit on the back of the Lexus there by, I think, Thomas Riley. Both of them seem to keep it under control at least, but Riley loses out the position. The front of Samuel's McLaren looks a bit damaged, so I'm not sure if he got involved in when that Bentley went around on lap 1, if he got a bit of a hit.
Well, Stephen's got a bit of a squirm.
Yeah, Missin's just going to fly past him, or is he? Because the Lexus got them legs. And Lexus is going to hold it on the inside. Missin's going to try it around the outside. He's gone deep. He has gotten it. He's hit the apex well as well. So, and it looks like, unfortunately, Lexus is going to get mugged by the Ferrari. So Riley is up past Viney as well.
Viney wants to return sender though.
He is going to make it happen too. That is a rough spot to be for the Ferrari. He's going to keep it on track barely, but he doesn't spin, and that is the important thing. He's got the inside line here. He's going to keep it, and I imagine the battle with that Lexus is far from over as well. Robertson might go for a dive here. He just doesn't have the space for it. I think Riley is ready to go for round 2 again, so...
You see Ben Floyd and Sonicus have closed up to the back of Frisbee there. So I think that is a battle that is about to commence as Floyd, Sonicus and Sweet are looking to make their way up into the top positions. There's Valentini, who started from the pits. Not sure if he had a disconnect or something, but he will be looking to make his way back to the field after a strong finish in race 1 as well. Corey
Yeah,
Sweet
very
currently
strong.
with the fastest lap.
No surprises there, but we've got a lot. I love that we've got so many drivers who are so evenly matched. I think Split Red so far is actually, I think, my favourite split to be comms for, because the drivers are so well matched. Let's have a look right now. We are having a look at, I think this is, we're looking at P's 3 to 7, 3 to 8, and they're all still so close together. Just look at the timing. Everybody's rough, half a second away. The biggest gap in the whole field right now is 2 seconds. So that's actually quite impressive. Car 889, 10-second penalty. Collision on lap 3.
That is Thomas Riley for the little hit on the back of P9 that happened earlier. So that was a really quick decision by the stewards.
Memory. I don't remember things like that. I'm like, yep, I remember exactly who it was that got in that accident. I'm like, no, I see what happens, and I say the thing that happens now, and that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm on the same level as you. I can only comment what I see. Other than that, I'm a bit fish bowly and goldfish-like.
Wow, very, very close. This is going to be a bit of a send from Cruz up the inside of the 889 Ferrari. Tom Riley is going to have to go the long way around through Surtees, and that is Cruz up another position. So he's going very good right now, but I'm surprised he must have dropped a bunch of positions at the start.
I think he was involved because he was behind the Macintosh Sonicus incident, so he may have had a little bit of a hit or had to slow down and evade some of the chaos and maybe lost that couple of positions. So he's fighting his way back through. Sonicus is down behind. No, he's still behind. Sonicus with the fastest lap there at the moment, which is good to see.
Absolutely. So, Cruz looking to make quick work of Pete Viney. Pete Viney sick of losing positions in this race. Not going to make it easy for him, but the Lexus gets a little bit squirrely. It looks like that Porsche might go around the outside. I think he's going to try and break deep into turn 1. See if he can make it happen here. How much is the Lexus going to fight the matter? The Lexus might even end up running deep. Doesn't he actually pulls it up quite nicely, but the Porsche still gets a better run. So the Porsche is now up the inside for turn 1. It's going to make good work of it. The Lexus will try and hold it around the outside. Does he have as much traction as the Audi in race 1? See, I remember things. No, he doesn't. 43.
Floyd and Sonicus and Sweet all got past Frisbee. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but it's a bit of a change up near the front there. And
didn't want to be that Mercedes right now. Chosen the outside. Car's chosen a tight line. Oh, the Lexus has chosen death.
So the Lexus is very taily at the moment. Oh, and there's been a bit of contact.
everybody behind avoids it pretty well there, but yeah, I think an incident was brewing between the Lexus and the Ferrari there for a couple of laps. They have made contact a few times, and the inevitable happened.
Riley, who's having such a good run, apart from the 10-second penalty, of course. Bendai got a good run there. The Bendai in the best delivery of the field. That is the Lexus. 2 Lexuses having a bit of a tangle back there as well. So that would have been Chalmers and Gafford potentially.
Chalmers not having a good night.
Missing and the 2 Samuels.
Sonicus down to P9, so he must have gotten involved in some form of an incident as well. Seems to be kicking off a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. We've now jumped back up. This is so close. We're looking on board with Johnson at the moment. Back on, that's Ben Floyd. He's gone alongside on the left side. Behind him is Corey Sweet. So they are teammating the hell out of this right now. So they've got to be careful not to lose the position behind to Frisbee. Is that Frisbee behind? I think it is. Or is that Sonicus? That's Frisbee. Frisbee behind. He wants a 2. What a great battle. This one is for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. I would not want to be Carl Johnson right now with Ben Floyd and Corey Sweet on my tail.
Sorry, there's a bit of a squirm coming out of the corner there. There's a little bit of ground in the distance, but they do just have a phenomenal amount of speed in the old acceleration department, which is quite depressing. If you're trying to get that position back or trying to contest, you have to find those extra tenths in mid-corner, as we see a little bit of a up the inside potentially from
Since we've seen the Nissans be top of the grid for races in ACC, we haven't actually seen them be very dominant in the last few seasons. In fact, not many people tend to choose a Nissan. I think we've even had some splits with no Nissans whatsoever in them over the last few seasons. So I think it's got a little bit of a
a little bit of a DOT path in the latest updates as well, so it's a little bit better than it was. Currently it's still an absolute nightmare to set it up, but yeah, it's still fast.
Great battle to be watching. So we still got 20 minutes left of this race. You see the dust in the distance and think, oh, an accident, but no, that's just the racing line apparently for Brains Hatch. If you're not dipping a toe into the grass at every other corner in the back sector, then you're not driving as fast as you could be.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, that's right. So we are currently looking at Valentini trying to make a move on Raikling.
Valentini with an absolutely impressive run. I mean, he started from the pit lane and he's already up to 17. After only 11 minutes of race. Ooh, Clink with a bit of grip. That's
unfortunately,
unavoidable.
Collects the Mercedes, and that was a
very well dodged that in.
Yeah, oh, that is going to be. Is that Ben Floyd up the inside? That's done. Unfortunately, Carl Johnson just ran wide on his own, and Corey Sweet is going to look to make quick work of him too. While his Lexus is getting very squirrely through turn 4, man. Corey Sweet gets the better line through Surtees. Doesn't quite hit the apex though. The Lexus did run wide, but the Nissan is not going to be able to do any major gains now. But Carl Johnson holding his own amongst a very, very strong crowd of drivers. Carl Johnson also a very fast driver of his own right. Let's not take anything away from that whatsoever.
It's crazy, but still very impressive that he does all of this without any force feedback. He doesn't drive with it on. Which, no force feedback whatsoever.
Does his wheel not have it, or he just doesn't?
He has a brand new G29, he just turns it off, he just doesn't race with it.
Wow. That's wild.
No,
I think that's why...
It's quite interesting going on board with him because he races with 360-degree wheel rotation and no force feedback, so his inputs look like very erratic, but he's always under control.
So yeah, that's really interesting. So right now,
5 seconds. Sorry.
No, you go for it.
I was just saying that Samuel got a 5-second for the incident earlier on in the race. So he'll definitely be trying to look at, to get a few more positions and try and gap some of these very fast people that he's in the mix with at the moment. To try and capitalise as much as he can for that penalty that will tick over at the end of the race.
Whoa.
As we see your brother get a 10-second for the lap 1 incident as well.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty logical conclusion after that first lap, but yeah, he'll be trying to make up some time and mitigate the loss from that penalty. Convoy as well with a 5-second penalty, so penalties coming in thick and fast at the moment.
Great battle back here. This is McClaws and Lee. Unfortunately the Lamborghini runs wide. The Ferrari's going to go back through. They went side by side through the last 2 turns, but that battle is going to resume. I think this one's going to continue for a good chunk of the race. Back now with Tom Riley versus Plank and Riley at the back of the field. Two very fast drivers. Riley with a 15-second penalty, but that's not going to stop them racing. There's a lot of excellent battles going on right now, and a lot of penalties through the field, including in the top 10. So Sonicus, we're looking at Rashuti right now. Let's take nothing away from this man who is currently steaming away. He is a mile ahead of Stephen Ty. So doing a very great job out there in P1, just running his own race, 5 seconds ahead, 15 minutes into the race, doing his own Andy O'Hara impression. Ben Floyd, Ben Floyd, who pulled himself clear of the Carl Johnson race. He's actually got himself ahead of Ferox, so we don't know when that happened, but we saw Floyd get the position on Carl Johnson, but there might have been an issue with Ferox, with Thistlethwaite, who has dropped back to P4, Floyd up to P3, but Corey Sweet has also lost a position. Corey Sweet is currently looking at the rear end of Brendan Frisbee, who has clearly got the position on him, so we've missed back on the left side. Johnson is wide, but he's going to get it back on track. He's going to hold the inside here. Is Corey Sweet going to get around the outside? I reckon he is. So that is the position for both Frisbee and Sweet up to P5 and 6. Sweet will get back on the back of Frisbee, see if he can hold on to that. But yeah, a lot of action unfolding while we weren't looking. We looked away for just a moment to look at some great battles down the field, and suddenly, like, 2 people pass. Don't they know we want to catch everything? Can't they just wait their own turn?
You see Kapua there with an additional 15 seconds. I think that's what they hit on Chalmers earlier.
And Misson have been together this whole race, just like steaming through the field. So this is excellent for them. Next up on their radar is going to be Mr. John Sonicus himself.
And in chat, Stickdish saying Brands Hatch got its name. Brands Hatch was originally the name of a natural grassy hollow that was shaped like an amphitheater. So there's your useless bender fact of the day. Thank you very much, Sticky. Pete Viney here all over the back of that very ugly Audi. Hopefully you can get past him and far away from him very quickly so we don't have to see it. But Bendite placing the car. What?
Oh, nothing. Bit of a wide Bendai. Oh, McLaren really taking a look. That is a scary place to take it. Lexus just pulling it in tight to try and go the long way around the Audi. It's not going to work now. But that's giving this invitation to the McLaren behind. That's Samuel. I think, I don't know, Valentini, is it? This might be, that's Viney and Valentini. So Valentini is still making his way through the field as well. Viney is unfortunately in the wars today, just being monstered by some of these very fast drivers.
Oh, he gets hit by Valentini.
Hit Viney from behind, and that is Viney around. Valentini's going to get back on track, but unfortunately, he might see a little penalty coming his way. We'll see what the stewards have to say about that. Shout out to the stewards team, who do an excellent job week in, week out, and are doing so tonight.
Well, look, this week during practice, Brands Hatch was not super popular amongst the Kovacs lads, and I think considering the races we've seen tonight, I don't think the popularity is going to increase whatsoever. Everybody getting involved in their fair share of incidents here. As we go
now we're back on this battle.
This is Corey Sweet here. He's still on the back of Frisbee. Johnson still hanging on to the back of this little battle here.
When Corey Sweet was having his little battle with Johnson, he did the overtake on Johnson. He lost a bit of ground, but he's caught it back up. Frisbee is on the back of Thistlethwaite, who has lost 3.5 seconds to Floyd. So I wonder what's going on there. So Floyd got the position, and Thistlethwaite, I wonder if he has damage on board that Ferrari, because he's lost a lot of time. Oh, that's the McLaren having a look up the inside. He's compromised his own run. Corey Sweet's going to have an invite here to go up the inside, and unfortunately for that McLaren, he might just lose out. In fact, he goes a little bit too wide. The position is done. Corey Sweet is up, and he's not going to give that up easily. And now you've got Johnson chasing you behind too. So, yeah, a bunch of moving and shaking just now.
Ben Floyd has closed up right to the tail of Stephen Pye. 10 minutes left, so assuming he's going to pile the pressure onto Stephen for the rest of this race, trying to find a way through.
Absolutely, Floyd having a great result last race as well, and he's doing well in the championship battle as well. He finished P2 in Split Red for last season. He's a very, very quick racer and a very consistent racer.
Who won Split Red last season again?
Oh, I can't remember. Does anyone else remember?
I don't think it was anyone too important, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Some driver whose career is over. So.
Alright. Is that right?
Oh wait, wasn't it you?
Yeah. I needed someone to say it, and as a matter of fact.
Yes, it was me, yes indeed.
Praise me, say nice things.
That's all I need and all I ask for, and I appreciate you guys. So
No, we didn't say any nice things, so we were just asking for.
I was just asking. I was just wondering if anyone knew. So Floyd on the back of Stephen Tye, he has made quick work of getting that gap down and getting on the back of Stephen Tye, who is a very quick racer. So Ben Floyd clearly cheating. Obviously getting that.
Submit your Motec.
That's submit Motec, Ben Floyd. So he's doing a mega job at the moment.
Just a wet wide.
That's
Johnson
correct.
on
That's
the inside of
3 wide.
Frisbee as well, and it's off. And okay, Johnson didn't gain anything there. In fact, he lost one position, so not
3
ideal.
wide, lost 2 positions. 3 wide nearly into the second last turn. And fortunately, Frisbee and Sweet both come out cleanly in front. So Sweet up to P4. He's now 5.5 seconds behind Ben Floyd. They were right nose to tail only 8 to 10 laps ago. So that this battle is changing constantly.
Muslim has cleared Sonicus already. I think Bruce will look to make his way through. I'm not sure if John is struggling with a bit of damage. His face is not where it was in practice. He did get that hit on the first lap. Gets a poor run out of there, and Bruce is just straight past. So, yeah, not. I think John is counting this as a drop round, I would say.
Unfortunately, I mean, what may be 10th with a 10-second penalty. Unfortunately, all right, it's may not be an excellent round overall.
Bender on the inside there. That's
car number 6 is in the wall. They are towards the back of the field.
That is David McNulty. He is having some tech problems, so not a good day for him so far. Floyd's still all over the back of Tye placing the car where he needs to. Keeping him behind, but a great run for Floyd here. Is he going to try and hang it around the outside? That's a ballsy move. A little bit of contact there.
Door banging, Robbie's racing here.
Yeah, it is. It's a tricky place to go side by side as it narrows in towards the corner. You always misjudge where the car on the outside is.
Goes wide, thinking Ben Floyd might have been trying something.
Yeah, initially it looked like Tye went slightly wide on the turn 2 there, but held that mid-corner line to maintain position. As you can see, Floyd is definitely making his presence well known in that rear vision mirror of Stephen Tye. I don't know whether the strategy here would be to turn your mirror off or not, but it's definitely a viable strategy.
These are 2 cars that would be considered slightly lucky to maybe escape.
Right up the inside, sorry.
Oh, he sends it and he gets it in.
Yeah, but he did a good thing. He got him guessing. He was on the outside for a couple turns before, so he made Stephen Tye take a compromise line. He got the switch back. He got it up the inside, and he's made the final stick. He's now into P2, and Corey Sweet, thanks to that battling, has gone from 5.5 seconds behind to 3.5 seconds behind. So there's 6 minutes left to go. You can see that battle between Frisbee and Corey Sweet in the background. I wonder if they can make any ground up on Stephen Tye.
Yeah, I think if you're Corey right now, you'd be hoping that Ty and Floyd still have a very nice battle and close the gap in. But we see Frisbee here on the back end of Sweet, and Sweet just dipped that left-hand side into the sand coming into turn 2. But that Nissan does look incredibly stable regardless. Corey,
2.2 seconds there.
yeah, he has closed up the gap quite nicely indeed.
Corey was saying before the races that because he wasn't involved in the back first 12 hours, he had quite a lot of time to do quite a lot of laps and get his setup just tuned perfectly here. So that's why the Nissan boys are looking very, very fast and competitive this week. You see Johnson on the back of Thistlewaite here. Nothing doing coming into the fast right-hander, but he is right up his jump, hoping to force a mistake out of Ferox there. Ferox very close to the edge there, tipping a wheel. Johnson still putting the pressure on. Ferox not making the mistake so far. Two guys in right out place here.
Hey, baby, on comms.
They're just starting up young. Alright, get him in the rig.
Get him in there.
Can buy a junior rig, so why not?
Yeah, he'll definitely get one as soon as he turns one. That's fine. So it's his first birthday present.
Excellent. So we're currently on board with Johnson, just staring at the back end of this way. He runs wide through turn 2. That's going to have the Lexus coming up the inside. The Ferrari goes wide just to be able to maintain position. He might have a compromise line through here though, so the Lexus is in a prime spot right now to be able to get a nose up the inside. He's going to be close. Is he going to dive for it into Surtees? He's definitely looking at it. He's trying to make it happen. Ferrari's got a long way around.
He is.
But yeah, that's right. They are going to be side by side all the way up here though. How is the Lexus legs versus the Ferrari? He's got it. He's going to move across to the right. I think he probably should. No, he doesn't need to. He's passed on the straight, and he is through. So that was an unfortunate wide run through turn 2 for that Ferrari. He's going to be kicking himself for that. I think this battle is going to go all the way to the end as well.
Oh, Johnson
online.
both
Both
follows him off.
compromised.
Now we change the position, so the Ferrari's back in.
Your microphone went a little bit weird there so much. Oh, that's very late on the brakes. Little tap there.
He's going to wait for it. He doesn't want to make the position with the tag, or does he?
Convoy says thank you very much. I'll take that.
Convoy's through, but I wonder if we'll see a redress from the Lexus on the Ferrari if they believe that they themselves to be at fault for the tag there. Then you'd expect potentially a redress in order to.
So hopefully negate a penalty that might be coming your way.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, I was lost 2 convoy as well, so I would, I'm not going to say for the stewards, but there may be something coming regardless, but it's more favourable eye of the stewards if you do redress a position.
It's also just a little bit of courtesy between drivers too. It does sort of help going a long way, because sometimes you can get a bit hot under the collar. But just that little, oops, sorry, have it back, didn't mean it, can go a long way.
Just to point it out, Corey Sweet is right on the tail of Stephen Ty already now. So he'll be looking to move up into the podium position there if possible.
Oh, he is gained very fast, and that is Stephen Ty taking a little bit of grass with him. But have a look at that, Frisbee has done the same. Dude, they've now got 2 laps left, so penultimate lap is starting now. So crossing the line, 2 laps to go. Corey Sweet was 3 seconds behind when Stephen Ty after he made the pass before up to P4, and he has. Oh, sorry, that was after Ben Floyd made the pass on Stephen Ty. Stephen Ty was 3.5 seconds ahead of Corey Sweet, but it looks like he's struggling in that Porsche. So. And the Nissan has got legs, so I would not be surprised if he goes all the way alongside him up this next straight. So, a bit of a compromise line from the Nissan. Gets it turned in, gets on the power. But he did, like I said, compromise his line a bit. Porsche might just be safe here. Nissan might not have done itself any favours by getting off the Octane Racing line. In fact, Frisbee is liking the fact that Nissan looked a bit compromised there. But we've still got a lap and a half of racing to go. See how this battle turns out.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be coming down to the wire for sure. It almost looks like the Porsche there of time might be having a bit of tyre issues because it was battling with Floyd for a while there, but now has dropped quite a substantial distance to him.
It looks like it. A little bit of a look from Corey Swede. So Stephen Tyre wondering whether he has to defend the final corner. He doesn't. They are about to come into the last lap. So Rashuti starts the last lap as the leader of the race. Oh, it looks like Corey Swede is going to make a dive into turn one. He goes in, but Stephen Tyre goes really deep, but he actually manages to pull it up as well. That's really impressive. I think Corey Sweet might not have committed quite enough to it because Stephen Tyre definitely did. Oh, and he actually has to back off a little bit in the Nissan so he doesn't hit the back of Stephen Tyre there. So this is a great finale. This is about a 4P3 and there is only about 2/3 of a lap to go. The bit of a back market they're going to have to navigate here. The Nissan is going to try and get a good run behind that Porsche. We know the Nissan has much better legs than the Porsche up the straight, so let's have a look at how much closer he can get. Is he going to threaten? He is. In fact, he's going to go all the way alongside him. He might even make the pass happen here, depending on what Stephen Tyre does. Stephen Tyre keeps it in tight, retains the position, but Corey Street really wants it. He's going to stick his nose to the inside. They run. They go wide.
Frisbee
might have put it on Corey Sweet as well, so they're side by side. Looks like Frisbee is going to get the position on Sweet. And forward, that is Corey Sweet off, that is Frisbee around, that is Stephen Tyre back into P3, Corey Sweet back on track in P4. Unfortunately, Frisbee has gone around, he might even lose position there. Stefano Rashuti has had a great race, comes across the line in P1. What an excellent race from him. Ben Floyd made his way through a bunch of very fast drivers to get himself into P2. Stephen Tyre is going to come home tentatively in P3. That is going to be reviewed for sure by the stewards. Corey Sweet home in P4. Frisbee, unfortunately, looks like he has not lost any positions. Johnson will come home. He's got a 10-second penalty. Convoy behind that is a 5-second penalty. So it looks like Thistlethwaite will jump up to P6 and Misson jump up a couple of positions as well.
Just look at the gap between Nissan and Cruz at the line there, 0.048 of a second.
I would love to see that again. What an excellent finale from them. That must have been a great battle. They were together the whole race. They were just getting past cars, left, front, and center together. So to see them finish that close, would love to see what that final turn looks like. And who was it making the move that got so close to making it happen as well?
Yeah, all I can say about that is I wouldn't want to be one of the stewards reviewing that one at this point in time, but hats off to everyone doing their utmost best to be as clean and respectful as possible. There was an insane amount of good battles on the track tonight as we watched the last few cross the line here. We're on board with Peterson, finishes in 24th. In that McLaren, but yes, another great night of racing complete.
That finale was something else. That was a very unfortunate way for that battle to end, and very unfortunate for Frisbee, who had the run. And I barely remember what happened, but he had the inside coming through, and he'd gotten all the way up the inside, so coming into Sheen, and it might have been it was the contact between him and Corey Sweet, who was on the outside. So I think Corey Sweet very well might have turned in early, although he may have turned in at the right time as well. It could have been Frisbee turning in late. We'll have to review that one and see what's made that contact come about and who might be held at fault for that one.
All I'll say about that incident is I'm happy I'm not a steward that has to deal with it. And a great credit to the stewards for putting up with all the nonsense us sprint drivers put them through on a weekly basis. So we see Bechtel doing a lap of honor. He has finished the race and he bends it into a wall quite dramatically. So we're just waiting for the session to take over so we can give you the final results for OOR Sprint Series at Brands
Pending any
Hatch.
post-race investigations, of course.
As the session has
We only know the results as it is at the end of the race as it stands, as per the penalties that were dished
There
out
we go.
during the race.
So for race 1 in the pro class, we have Corey Sweet, Justin Cruz, and Ben Floyd. In the pro-ams, we have Alex Valentini, Mitchell Bendyke, and Peter Viney. And in the AMs, we have Peterson, Joseph, and Brooker. And then race 2, we have Stefano Ricciuti, Ben Floyd, and Stephen Tai as your pro class top 3. Robertson, Bendyke, and Bechtold in the pro-ams. And AMs, we have Peterson, Joseph, and Brooker. So a repeat of the AM class results. And that is that.
Congratulations to all the podium sitters in all the different categories there as well. And don't forget, everyone, that we have NA and EU still to come up in the next few hours. I believe EU's at like some crazy time in the morning, but yeah, still some more racing of brands to come.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Thanks so much, guys. It's been a pleasure doing comms with you. Shout out to Jesse, who was with us earlier for Split Blue. And thanks for being with us for Split Red, Sean. Pleasure having you.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And
Thank
JP,
you,
good as
guys.
always.
Yep, thank you, Samwise, thank you, Sean, and thank you, Chad.
And he came
just
out as the better looking brother.
I am decisively the better looking brother, so I can go to sleep nice and comfortably tonight. But yeah, thank you guys for another great night of racing, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thank you for joining us for Split Blue and Split Red, Octane Online Racing. Catch you next week.
All I ever wanted was you.